My name is James Rowlands. In 2015, I teamed up with my friend Dan White to create the WNR podcast. Since then, we have been giving you everything that's happened on the WWE Network. Now, in 2018, not only are we live for the Big Four events in every NXT Takeover, but we celebrate 20 years since the birth of the Attitude Era. Plus, every month we'll bring you 205 Live, collections, new content, W pay-per-views and latest news on the WWE Network. Until we've watched everything, we are with you, and we are the WNR. Yes, hello, I am James Rowlands, and as always I'm joined by...
Dan White.
And yes... It's the WNR140 today, episode 140, and we celebrate 25 years of WWE Raw. But before we start off properly, let's have the alternate intro. Now get the guns, the drugs from my generation. I'll take the faults. New confirmation. Yeah, it's the sex, the gods, the fakes, the frauds. They're messing with me. Come on, come on, come on. Let's get it on.
Move to my music. Play the fucking music. Move it to my music, yeah.
Let's get it on.
Move to my music, play the fucking music, live through my music, yeah.
And that's how To Kill a Raw theme by two English dudes. 1993, Vince McMahon changed the wrestling world. He decided to start a weekly live show on the USA Network, something that had never been done before. Now, 25 years on, the WNR podcast watched the very first episode, plus pick our top 5 moments ever in the history of Raw. This is the 25 years of Monday Night Raw.
January 1993. Raw was born. Now, 25 years later, it's just getting started.
So let's go back 25 years to 1993, the Manhattan Center in New York.
We are live from the streets of a chilly New York City, but it is about to get very hot here in Manhattan. Hello, everyone. I'm Sean Mooney. A few minutes ago, it was a mob scene out here, everyone braving the elements to be a part of Monday Night Raw. But now they're inside, set for the action. Hey, wait a minute.
What?
Bobby Heenan,
I'm
what are you
going
doing?
in there.
No.
Oh,
you
yes,
didn't hear?
I am.
You were replaced.
I was replaced?
Yes.
By who would replace me?
Rob Bartlett. You're not
I don't care about
supposed to
Rob
be in
Bartlett.
there.
This is Monday Night Raw, live from New York City,
That's
and
right.
I've got to be in there to host it.
No, you're not.
No, what do you mean,
you
no?
can't get in. I'm sorry.
What do you mean I can't get in? I can get in. I can buy a ticket. They don't
No,
want me,
there
I
are
can
no
buy
tickets left.
So we start off here, and we see Sean Mooney telling us welcome to a next stage of WF television. We are live here, and Bobby Heenan trying to get in, but not having the best success because Mooney saying you can't just go in and we replaced you. He says with who? Rob Bartlett. He will be joining the commentary team tonight. You can't get a ticket because it's sold out. Well, that's not partly true, was it? Because the crowd was 1,000 people at the Manhattan Center, but unfortunately only 600 people paid. But it is live, and we are going to see the first ever Monday Night Raw here. Incredibly, WWE done a list of top 100 moments. This is Raw moment 71. So,
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. But here we start with Monday Night Raw.
The sirens are going.
Everybody's going crazy. Rob Bartlett. Well, here we go. The hosts of Vince McMahon, Randy Savage and Rob Bartlett. Do you know the latter being a comedian that Vince hired to give Raw a cutting edge? So expect a lot of his jokes to be, you know, very on the mark and that, because he's here to replace Bobby Heenan, who is one of the greatest commentators of all time, you know. So you excited about watching the first... Have you ever watched the first Raw, Dan? Are you excited?
I have never seen it before in my life, no. And yeah, I'm quite excited for this. You know, it's quite mad started.
Exactly.
And what it's evolved into as well. 25
years ago. We'll see if anybody's still on the roster, what it looks like. And we're going to start off with... Oh, my God. Coco Beware.
Coco Beware.
Were you watching WF at the time in 1993?
I wasn't, no. I was only 8.
Yeah, but you went to... You watched your WCW, weren't you?
Yeah.
You go to WCW events. Well, 1993 is a very weird transitional period. Hogan was still there, but obviously not on top anymore. He was trying to go mid-card way. And Coco Beware. I mean, thoughts on Coco, Dan? We haven't seen him a lot. He's not bringing out Frankie here, is he? But
he used to be a very entertaining character from what I can remember.
well, I think we've seen in WrestleMania 3 he was there. But for me, he reminds me of, I don't want to be horrible to him, but WF star Coco Beware. when we go to events or something like that, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, right. But I think he is still working. Credit to him, going against, oh wow, this big
One
man.
of the most imposing men in sports entertainment, and that is Yokozuna, and he's getting presented with flowers from his Japanese hookers.
Yeah, and of course these geishas coming out here to pay their respect to Yokozuna, this huge man. Bartlett starts by reaching for fat jokes. Yeah, that's a good way to start, isn't it? Jerry Law wouldn't even use this material, but hey, Rob Bartlett, you're cutting edge, mate.
Well, the combination of his cheap shots, Savage's and Vince's inability to hold it all together is horrible. Bad choices all round. I don't like edgy wrestling programming when it isn't edgy.
This is edgy. I mean, to call him a big-butted Oriental chap, we are on... This is Raw, Dan. This is cutting-edge Raw.
So it's a big-butted chink going against a Negro.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be able to say that you are the Rob Bartlett of the podcast. I would think that would be fair. We're going to see if Coco Beware should beware of Yokozuna in this one. We're doing a better job of them already. I can feel it. Ico Pro, that's Vince McMahon's bodybuilding supplement. That worked well. And Mike Chioda, is he still refereeing today?
I don't know.
I think he is. Yeah, Mike Chioda's still around. So at least one person at the moment, of course, Yokozuna, no longer with us. Coco Beware, I think he's still alive. I'm sure Dan will fact check and tell me if Coco Beware is dead. Yokozuna throws Coco Beware, just the huge power of the man. And now Coco Beware running up against Yokozuna gets squashed.
He's on the SmackDown brand, and by a margin of more than 20 years, Chioda's the longest tenured referee in WWE history.
Well done, Mike Chioda.
Made his debut in 1989.
Bloody hell. 2 years after I was born, he's been in the WWF that long. They should give him something, shouldn't they, as well? Like a little award. Like, how old is he?
He is 51.
50? That's not bad at all, is it? 26 when he started in WWF. Oh, Coco Beware with a drop kick. Make that two.
He's rocking the big man.
And he gets hung up on that top rope. And now here comes Yokozuna. Leg drop. That is over. It is over and done with. Yokozuna bowing. Yokozuna backing up. Coco Beware. Here comes Yoko. Oh!
Squashes him in the corner.
Wow, and Yokozuna there just crushing Coco Beware. Dan, what are your thoughts on that match?
Well, I hate to use cliches, James, but that was a squash match.
It really was, wasn't it? I mean, Yokozuna here. Coco is undefeated, hasn't even been knocked off his feet. Coco is a jobber. Raw's initial concept as a primetime wrestling show out.
Well, Yoko doesn't so much no-sell as ignore Coco's moves completely. Leg drop, bat splash, and the bonsai drop finishes.
Not so much a contest, but rather an advertisement for Yoko's dominance and his favourite tag for the forthcoming Royal Rumble. The match lasted 3:45 seconds. So not a great way to start Monday Night Raw, but hopefully things will improve.
Well, Video Control takes us to Bobby Heenan, who talks about the debuting new talent, Narcissist. That'd end up being a slightly repackaged Lex Luger.
So Lex Luger is on the way. And up next, we're going to see the Executioners in action. Well, business is about to pick up. Here come the Steiners.
All the way from Michigan.
You got to love the Steiner brothers, especially now. Their hard-hitting tag team action. It's always fun. Never really became in the WWF, did they? But they weren't really around long enough, a couple of years at this point. WrestleMania 9 match again, isn't it? Isn't there?
Yes, they had a WrestleMania 9 match against the Head Shrinkers.
So we're going to see him in action now against the Will the Executioners be excellently executed tonight by the Steiners? Oh, Doink's having fun.
Oh, he's got a broken arm. The broken arm that he used to hit Crush on.
Oh, yeah, Crush must have done that. Oh, Steiner, tilt-a-whirl backbreaker.
Look at Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner.
Now Rick, dog-faced gremlin. I wonder what he's going to do in this.
Punches an Executioner in the head and knocks him backwards.
Executioner 1, Executioner 2, I guess.
Irish whips him against the ropes and the Executioner just slips over. Just face plants the second rope.
Steiner line by Rick.
And Rick turns him upside down and just rams him stomach first into the top turnbuckle.
Oh.
And a meeting of the minds for the Executioners as he throws number 2 into the ring.
2.
Oh, and a big bear hug. Oh, lovely over-to-head, belly-to-belly suplex there from Scott Steiner. And he's getting the crowd pumped up, displaying a lovely mullet.
You got to love the mullet here.
Wonder who was under that mask.
Barry Hardy is one of the Executioners. Of course, the dad of the Hardy, but no, he's not. He worked in ECW, WCW, and WWF. And he worked with, and the other one is Dwayne Gill. You might
Gilberg.
know. But it's Gilberg, exactly. Oh, and it's over.
Wow, that was a lovely finishing move there by the Steiner brothers. It was kind of like an elevated bulldog. Rick came off the top rope, planted Executioner's face into the mat, and that was it.
Well, I don't want to, again, say another squash match, but Dan, it was another squash match. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. A squash match. You might as well call them the masked jobbers, because that's what they are. They're backstage. Security has detained Bobby Heenan, and he's in drag pretending to be Rob Bartlett's aunt.
That is Rob Bartlett's aunt.
So I'm not quite sure what is going on. Apparently, a security guard has detained a woman here. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. What seems to be the problem here? Wait, your nephew?
I'm supposed to see him. Yes.
You're Rob Bartlett's
Yes,
aunt?
I'm his aunt. He's my nephew. Yes. I have to go in there and see him right
I'm sure
now.
we can straighten this all out. We could probably go into the will call.
I'm going in there right now.
Wait a minute, Bobby Heenan.
So we see in interview time, we see Razor Ramon. And he's out to talk to Vince McMahon about Razor's title shot at the Rumble. He says, Vince points out Bret's experience and calls Razor a Johnny come lately. We should really say that it will be Razor Ramon, Bret Hart, WWF title at the Royal Rumble. Horrible production during this as we get Razor talking about squashing Owen Hart's like a cockroach. While footage of the incident plays, drowning out the promo, Razor said he's taken the title and flicks his toothpick at Vince's hairpiece. He sure was popular with the New York crowd. And up next, it is the Intercontinental Championship. It's Shawn Michaels versus Max Moon. Oh, look at all the fireworks. Flashy fireworks coming out.
Max Moon.
Look at this. Oh.
They're more like streamers, aren't they?
Wow. Well, he had flashes beforehand. Max is Paul Diamond filling out ring gear designed specifically for Conan by Conan. He sold the rights to the gimmick and suit to the WWF, but left after just 3 dark matches as Moon. So Conan, it was going to be Conan, but he got sick of it.
And it's the first ever Raw title defence. And again, Shawn Michaels being in a first ever match.
Yeah, I know, first ever. Let's hope we can pull a good one here tonight.
Oh yeah, Diamond's going to cut you.
Arm drag there, Michaels starting it off. And this is Michaels just after his breakup with Marty Jannetty. So we know he's just coming into his own here. We've seen so much Shawn Michaels, haven't we, this past month?
We have indeed, yes, but you can never see too much Michaels.
No, you can't. Oh, Max Moon there, nice leapfrog, catches Michaels' foot.
Looks for the backdrop, Michaels spins out, lands on his feet. Oh, lovely couple of deep arm drag takedowns. And a little scoop slam there from Max Moon. He's starting to get in control of Michaels.
Shawn doesn't like that, does he? Is that a mullet? He is sporting a mullet, isn't he, Michaels? And with Max Moon, some kind of futuristic. I mean, what do you think of the suit of Max Moon?
Meh.
I don't get it. I don't know what it's meant to be. And now, dodging Michaels. Hey!
Both looking for a takedown. They lock arms, but Michaels lands face first and he's in an arm lock now.
Do you think Conan would have been successful if he would have continued being Max Moon, Dan? Or do you think he knew he was silent?
I don't know. I think he might have known that his bread was better buttered on the other side. But then again, Conan wasn't that successful in WCW. I mean, he was outshadowed when he was in NWO Black and White. He was outshadowed when he was in the Wolfpack. So, you know, he didn't really have a huge part in it.
But do you think that's maybe a thing that he didn't get a chance in WWF after they bought WCW? Because maybe this Max Moon thing, Vince McMahon was like, right, if you don't do business then, I'm not going to do business for you now, you know? So there's always a possibility. I mean, with Conan, I don't rate him that much anyway, but...
No, I've never, you know, I enjoyed him because he was part of the Wolfpack, but I've not really rated him. He's part of the LAX now in TNA, and he plays their kind of leader.
So at least he's got a reputation in his own mind. I know he's hugely successful in Mexico. It's him and Vampiro, like the 2 biggest, you know, draws there. But Paul Diamond himself had a little bit of success in ECW, but like I say, never really made it that next step, you know, to anything. And I think we see a lot here tonight, you know, talk about wrestling in general. It's quite a I won't say dark period. I don't think that's fair, but lots changing, isn't it? You know, the characters that may be working 5 years previously are not anymore, and they're kind of trying to go a different way now, more gritty, realistic, raw. Maybe for the characters like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, like they got. Of course, they still got a fucking clown walking around. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but then in some cases, like the characters kind of worked. I mean, you know, Taker, he was a big character.
Yeah.
You know, the three faces of Foley, they were big characters, but they were still successful. You know,
Yeah,
so
but
in some retrospects, they do work.
But that's the special ones, aren't they? You know, you throw enough shit at the wall, something's going to stick, isn't it? You know, like...
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of other characters that we see. I mean, I think Doink is a character that could work now. This kind of scary clown. I think, you know, you look at what Bray Wyatt's doing, you can think something quite creepy like that, and not turn it into comedy. I think it would be possible.
I suppose if that happened, you'd be getting accused of ripping off the Joker, because that's the only way you could successfully play a kind of clown is ripping off the Joker.
I suppose it's a certain way, but what about it? You could maybe do something more creepy like that.
Yeah, but then you'll be getting accused of ripping off it.
But, yeah, I know, but it's still different ways you could do it. I think it still would work. Especially, you know, the thing is...
Well, saying that, though, how successful was the Boogeyman?
Yeah, but Boogeyman was that was...
Was he more for the shock factor?
Yeah,
as opposed for the
that was awful.
value?
Yeah, eating worms and stuff like this. I mean, it's just awful. It's like, you know, coming back to Max Moon now. It's like just an awful character. I don't know how it ever got past as anything.
Max Moon. Only gets a 2 count on the Heartbreak Kid.
2. A lot of girls on my team, and Michael's going straight back to the attack of Max Moon.
So how do you feel about Max Moon? He's, you know, I don't know, he's kind of holding his own against Michaels in this match.
At this moment, it's the longest match we've had on Raw tonight. Probably double what we've had already. And yeah, I mean, they seem to have plans for Max Moon. You saw his come out here as well. So obviously there's ideas. But with Michaels, you can still... I've said it on the Michaels special. You can still see the kind of star potential Michaels has in this match. You know, you look at the guys... I think that's the most depressing thing about 25 years on. All the missed talents. You know, even people like Ziggler and these type of guys, Cody Rhodes, the young cocky heels. And then Michaels took that step and changed it. And you watch so many Rumbles and you see all these young guys, you're just like, oh, fucking, they never fucking made it, did they? That never worked. 2010, he came out with Husky Harris and Michael McGillicuddy, and I'm like... Fucking hell, they're still around now, though, aren't they? You know, Bray Wyatt and Curtis Axel.
Yeah.
But Mason Ryan didn't work. It's depressing how much talent we lose. But Max Moon catches Michaels and he uses a move that doesn't work in real life.
Oh, looking to hop over the top right. Michaels sees it, moves out of the way, thinking he's dodged it. But Max Moon with a seated scent on there, taking Michaels out at ringside. Then way for Finn Matt's... sitting atop some nice carpet.
Yeah, I like that red carpet there. Max Moon, Irish Fitz Michael in the corner. Big kick. Oh, they could have him. No, Michael's managing to kick out. Moon picks him up, slams him down. Well, Max Moon somehow still in this. Michael's going to put him away with that patented side suplex. No.
The teardrop suplex.
Max Moon reverses, but Michaels hits it.
Free.
Man, that is over, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Michaels retains in Raw's first title defence.
Wow, what are your thoughts on that match, Dan?
It was a lot more working than the last two matches. I don't think it was so much as a squash match for Michaels this time. Yeah, it was good. It wasn't overly impressive though.
No, I mean the crowd chanted loudly, "Let's go, Sean!" You got to love New Yorkers.
Let's go, Sean!
Let's go, Sean! Diamond tries to throw some lucha libre, perhaps paying tribute to the man who created Max Moon. Instantly, Rob Bartlett is grinding at me with his terrible jokes. He really was the pits as an announcer. Oddly enough, WCW would hire a left field colour commentator with Nitro debut in the form of Steve McMichael. I don't know which one I fucking hate more, do you know that? Bartlett lowers the bar once again by impersonating Mike Tyson. What kind of sick individual would do that with almost the exact same voice as Adam Sandler uses for his old Jewish lady jokes? Well, time for filler as Gene Oakland prepares us for a Royal Rumble with extensive shilling. The way they were building Sean Jannetty for the Rumble suggested a more violent match than they had. I guess given the expectations, the match was a disappointment, but it was technically solid.
Well, the shenanigans continue as Uncle Morty tries to sneak in, and that's Bobby Heenan's second disguise of the evening, this time as Rob Bartlett's extremely Jewish uncle.
There is no more room inside, but the word is out. These folks are lining up to get tickets for next week's Monday Night WWF Raw. Excuse me, sir. I just want to ask you a question. Are you getting your tickets for next week?
Get in line here.
Get in line?
Yes, I got to get inside there. I got to see. Back.
What's the problem?
I got to see my nephew. His name is Ron Bartlett.
You have a relation.
Yes, I'm Uncle Morty Feldman. He needs me inside. I got to go now.
I ran into your wife earlier. Wait a minute now.
I've got to go inside.
What are you talking about?
I have to. He's got the tickets for me for tonight for the Raw on discount. He's got the discount. He's a good bagel. He's a good boy.
Wait a minute. Uncle Morty, you seem to be having a little problem here with your beard. Bobby Heenan.
Okay, you know. I got to get inside.
Well, you go to any length.
I'll go to any length.
Wow, there we go. You got to love a bit of Heenan.
Raw is so short on material for its first episode that we have a feature on Kamala being converted to Christianity by Slick.
So we are on to our main event. And this will be the main event, the first ever Raw. A momentous occasion. And who's it going to be? It's The Undertaker versus...
Damien Demento.
Damien Demento. I mean, this guy looks so scary in this one. I mean... He's got that nervous look. Let's see if we see the Undertaker's entrance. Tell me more about Damien Demento, Dan.
Well, Philip Thies is an American semi-retired professional wrestler, best known for his appearances in WWF between 92 and 93 under the ring name Damien Demento. As Damien Demento, he's billed from the outer reaches of your mind. After this, Demento completed solely on house shows before leaving the WWF in 1993.
And what about this man, The Undertaker?
He's just a jobber, isn't he?
Well, I don't think any of the gimmick's going to work, really. A dead man and a Dementer. And Paul Bear's there. I wonder what Paul Bear's got to say about it.
Well, James, I've come here from Death Valley, and The Undertaker is going to beat Damien Demento. Oh.
Wait a minute. Macho Man's come up and had a word with him.
Oh, yeah, well, there's only one way this match is going to go, dig it.
Wait a minute, Nigel McGuinness in a time machine has somehow come here.
Well, James, we see The Undertaker and he's squaring off against Damien Demento, and he looks mad. I mean, Damien Demento is a huge man, but The Undertaker is a lot bigger.
Thank you very much, Nigel. I mean, that was incredible, then, what just happened. And we're going to get this match started. Demento going out, striking The Undertaker. I mean, Dan, did you just see what happened there?
He did, yes. They went nose to nose, and Demento tried punching The Undertaker in the face, but The Undertaker just wasn't having any of it.
And now Undertaker sends his Demento into the turnbuckle. Oh, he's got the shoulder.
He's going for school.
He is. This is preschool, isn't it? I mean, the first ever Raw, The Undertaker walking the ropes.
Straight onto the back of the neck of Demento.
But Demento, though, credit to him, back to his feet, sent into the turnbuckle.
And Undertaker's just choking out Damien.
Choking away, and now Irish whip Demento.
Oh, stomach first into the corner. Undertaker runs in, but he runs into a big boot from Damien. He puts himself on the second rope. The double axe handle smashed to the head of the Undertaker, barely taking the dead man off his feet, though. And a Mojo Rawley style shoulder block there from Damien Demento.
Well, he took him off his feet that time, but the Undertaker sits straight back up again. And says to Demento, is that all you got? Gets Irish whipped.
Ducks a clothesline attempt, and he just comes flying through the air.
And he wants his urn up. And the Undertaker, Paul Bearer saying, finish it.
Finish him.
Tombstone time. Demento down. Oh, there is not a greater force in professional wrestling than The Undertaker, the first ever Raw. And yes, he will be on Raw 25 years later. Quite incredible. I mean, Dan, what do you think of this squash match?
Well, I think this is the best squash match of the 3 squash matches we saw. You know, it's The Undertaker. He just looks... What, Woody Allen versus Mia Farrow in a steel cage match? Shut the front door. Well, it's just, you know, it's The Undertaker that we seen and love today.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And, I mean, let's talk about it now. We saw 4 matches. What was the best one out of the 4, Dan?
I was more impressed by the Undertaker one, personally.
Yeah, I think so. I think the HBK Moon, probably best in-ring standpoint, but not better than 3.5. I think the other one's all squash. And yeah, Taker Demento was all right. And now we see Doink talking to Vince McMahon. It is interview time. Vince brings out Doink to abuse Crush. You know, Ryan comes out, bruh, and tells Doink, bruh, that he'll break all his limbs, bruh, if he continues to make all the kiddies cry out here. Bruh. Take a drink every time he says bruh. Bruh.
If he came out here right now, he would be crying too, and I would be laughing.
All right. Excuse me, Mr. Doink. I'd like for you to meet Crush. Pardon me, Crush. Who's laughing now?
Hey, bro, before you put your size 14 shoe and your size 20 mouth, you better look over both shoulders, bro. You got that? This was just a warning, bro. If I catch you touching anyone else, playing your stupid jokes that only you're laughing at on anyone else, bro, you just might be wearing a cast on both arms and both legs next time. You got that, brother? Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, but Doink's squirting a pistol.
And Doink's just taunting Crush now.
Well, Crush wants Doink, but I don't think Doink wants any of Crush. The main event for WrestleMania 9. Doink versus Crush. Oh, Sean Mooney now, Bobby Heenan.
Well, as you know, Bobby Heenan has been very persistent throughout the evening attempting to get inside. Well, I've got some good news for him. Excuse me, Bobby Heenan. I know, I just got word. You can go on up. You're welcome. Go. Yes, you're on the way. No, let him go. Let him go. Have a good time up there, Bobby.
You fucking pricks. Well, they've just let Heenan, and all of a sudden, the show finishes. I mean, Dan, what are your thoughts on the first Raw?
It wasn't great. You know, there was, 4 matches?
Yeah.
3 of them were squash. I don't know, it was interesting, don't get me wrong, you know, the first ever Raw. It was 45 minutes long. But I don't know, it's hard to see how it went on to become so successful. I mean, you know, if you'd have seen this the first time, would you have tuned in to watch them more?
Well, I think it's a difficult. That's a difficult question, isn't it? You know, because if you look back for what we've experienced on Raw 25 years since then, it's a not very good show. And I think the thing with Raw, it was something new that they tried, a live show, didn't really know what to do. But I think what we're going to see is obviously the progression of Raw. Get given a chance, let it go for, a couple of years, see if it was successful. And yes, it did. And it grew from that, didn't it? So I think, the first Raw probably wasn't the best. But then again, I probably would watch the second episode just to see if it would have improved. And luckily, it all did, didn't it,
It did, yeah, and it did certainly went up.
Well, the WWE Network released an updated top 100 Raw moments following the end of Monday Night Raw last week. Title celebrating 25 years of Raw and hosted by Corey Graberg, the show counted down the top 25 moments in Raw history.
To hype the show, Rosenberg and Graves filmed a 7-minute segment for WWE where Rosenberg loses a list and then goes to the WWE warehouse to find it. In the warehouse, Rosenberg goes through several WWE memorabilia that appeared on Raw over the years and is joined on this tour by the one and only Sean Mooney.
Yeah, so the man who was on the first ever Raw is in this little clip, and the show aired on USA Network following the conclusion of SmackDown Live. So we talk about the top 100 moments. Here's their top 10 moments, all right? At number 10, June 6, 2005, Raw 628. The landscape of WWE changes when John Cena arrives on Monday Night Raw as the brand's first pick in the 2005 WWE Draft.
Raw moment number 9. And it's Raw 293, and the dream of Mrs. Foley's baby boy is realised when Mankind challenges The Rock for the WWE Championship and wins.
Yeah, and we've got that on the podcast. Number 8, Raw 602, history is made when Lita and Trish battle for the Women's Championship in the main event of Monday Night Raw.
Raw moment 7, Raw 1097. The unity of the Shield is finally broken when Triple H executes his infamous Plan B.
Number 6, Raw 1245. After defeating the Undertaker, Roman Reigns takes his to his yard to comment on his massive accomplishment.
Raw moment number 5, Raw 226. A storied rivalry between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Miss McMahon ignites with a stunning gesture from the Rattlesnake.
Raw moment number 4, August 9th, 1999. Raw 324. The walls of WWE come crashing down when Chris Jericho makes an unforgettable debut and shows everyone that Raw is Jericho.
Moment number 3, Raw 1085. In defiance of the Raw's reign of tyranny, Daniel Bryan turns to the Yes Movement to help secure his destiny. Or his Yes-tiny.
Ha! Number 2, June 27th, 2011, Raw 944. CM Punk evokes controversy by hijacking Monday Night Raw to speak his mind on his status in the WWE.
And the number 1 moment is Raw number 304. Days before battling The Rock at WrestleMania 19, Stone Cold Steve Austin gives the corporation a taste of things to come.
So very interesting. The new top 100 moments. Here's the WWE Raw 100 moments they had before the changes. So Raw top 10 then. This is on Beyond the Ring. If you click on there, watch top 100 moments. The top 10. WrestleMania 26 challenge. February 22nd, 2010. That was The Undertaker and Triple H.
Number 9 was the Raw/Nitro simulcast when Vince McMahon announced that he thought he had bought Nitro, but it turns out the name on the warrant was McMahon.
Yeah, it was McMahon.
It wasn't Vince McMahon.
No, it wasn't Shane McMahon. Number 8 was a rock concert, and this is my favourite rock ever. March 24, 2003. This is Hollywood Rock, playing the guitar and absolutely owning all the crowd.
Number 7's a bit of a controversial one because, for a couple of reasons, but DX mocks the nation. They come dressed out in what can only be described as a bit of blackface.
Yeah, the black up, yeah.
And, they just come out.
In 2005, it was John Cena making his entrance into Raw, and it is a hell of a reaction. And, again, a really important moment.
Spoiler alert, it's James's favourite Raw moment ever, and that is the famous Punk pipe bomb speech. And, some of the things he said could be misconstrued as actually shooting off the wrist. But, it was predominantly scripted. But, you know what I mean? Like, it was laid out what he was going to say, but some of it, I think, he might... Yeah, it
was all down to what they just said to, talk about what you want. And one of those lines that still gets me today, and it's still true, is that he says, Vince McMahon is a millionaire who should be a billionaire. And it rings true now. Punk was so right about that. And it is a great moment in time. Number 4, another moment we're going to watch on the RAW25 podcast, is January 19th, 1998. Mike Tyson and Stone Cold Steve Austin, and it basically kicks off properly the Attitude Era, doesn't it,
It does indeed, yes. Number 3, the Millennium Man, and it is the introduction of Chris Jericho. The Rock was out, talking his usual garbage, and the countdown began on the screen, and none other than Chris Jericho was introduced to the world of WWE, and what a legend he'd become.
Exactly, who'd have thought, 20 years later, what he's done in his life. Number 2 was September 27th, 1999. It is the highest rated segment in WWE Raw history. I think it had an 8.2 rating. It was Mankind giving The Rock a surprise birthday bash. Basically, everybody coming down to the ring of The Rock, just cussing them away. It's hilarious. It really is. A number 1, Dan?
Number 1 is the Stone Cold Steve Austin giving the corporation a beer bath. And, he drives down in his, Budweiser, Bud Light truck.
Yeah, Bud Light, yeah.
And he just completely soaks everyone in the ring. McMahon sells it brilliantly. It's like he gets knocked over and he slips everywhere.
He's swimming, isn't he?
It's just a brilliant moment. And that was on March the 22nd, 1999.
So I think one of the fun things about WWE Raw, of course, is its theme song along the years, isn't it? You think about Raw and you've always got a favourite theme song. Dan, what's your favourite?
Mine's the Move to the Music, play that fucking music song.
Yeah, and I don't know, I think there's a lot of them, but I think the one that's Tonight is the Night, big, the A-list, can't miss. I think that's the 2016 one. What we're going to do, though, is play, even, every Raw theme that we got. So first up, here's 1993. So your basic Raw theme, and usually followed by "Welcome everyone to Monday Night Raw" Vince McMahon. And I mean, Dan, what do you think of the original Raw opening?
Yeah, you know, it's a bit low key for what I like, but you know, it was a good start to the Raw themes, I suppose.
Right, let's see what else we got then.
Sounds a bit like Bret Hart mixed with Mankind.
Yeah, I know, it's not the greatest theme, is it? So they had that through the transformation. They turned blue for a period of time as well.
Yeah. They got the sirens.
Yeah, it's 95 and 96. I Like It Raw by, again, Jim Johnson. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not a huge fan of it, Dan.
No, it's not the greatest, is it?
No. Yeah, it's a bit cheesy. I wonder what to get this into chorus, though. And how can a song like this be I Like It Raw? Oh, there you go. I like it raw.
Mellow.
Yeah, I like it raw. Yeah. Right, 1997. Of course, this is Start the War Zone. I like this one. Here we go. Thorn in Your Eye, yeah.
It's my life in the box in front of me. Danger in my arms is the soul of me. You walk by and you see me laying me.
In the back, the beat up.
Bit like Alistair Black's tune, isn't it?
Yeah. And this is the advert. I remember this all the time.
And we're back from the ad breaks. Yeah. This used to play for a while, didn't it? If they came back a bit early and you just get the raw symbol.
3.5 minutes, yeah.
You think it's going to end, but then it repeats again.
Yeah, I know. No, it's still going.
It's a fucking long ad break.
It is. Oh, come on, guy. Oh, here we go.
The best one ever.
Now get the cards, the charts from my generation. I'll take the come on, let's get it out. Forget the loss, the money. We're in this together and do it all. They said that nothing's forever, and they refuse to see the change in me. Why won't they wake up?
2003, wasn't it? That was the Raw theme. They moved on from that. Of course, the other two we heard was 99 and 2000. Now we move on to 2000, 2008, 2009 theme, which I don't think is a bad theme either.
Take the past, burn it up and let it go. Carry on, I'm stronger than you'll ever know. That's the deal, you get no respect. You're gonna get yours, you better watch your fucking neck. I want domination, I want your submission. I gotta roll the dice, never look back and never think twice. Whoa, I never give in. Whoa, I never give up. Whoa, I never give in. I just wanna be loved.
Never get that.
I like that chorus bit.
Yeah,
though.
exactly. I just wanna be loved. The God King. And then 2009, 10, 11, and 12.
We got no fear, no doubting. We're going up tonight. You're relying. Everything inside. Till the world stops turning while we burn it to the ground at night.
All in, balls out.
Right tonight, hey. Everything we want. We're going to the world till it's turning. They got Raw 1000 theme here, but who cares about that? Who remembers that?
I like that
you know,
tune as well.
Yeah, this is my favourite Raw one coming up now. So we had the Raw 1000 one, which no one remembers. And the next one, I think my favourite. When I think of a Raw theme in my head, I think of this one. I think this is our first Raws we saw together, so maybe that's why we like the theme so much. 2012, 13 and 14. The thing I like about it, they say about the things, and there's people they can show as well. High flying, A-list, obviously. And then we've got July 25th, 2016 to present day. It's Enemies by Shinedown, the Raw theme.
Listen up, there's not a moment to spare. It's quite a drop from the top, so how you feeling down there? Where did you think you could go? 'Cause everyone already knows it's 20 to 1. Yeah, so you better run. You got the world on its knees. You're taking all that you please. You want more. But you get nothing from me. You like the burden we bear. You love the hate that we share. You want more. But you get nothing from me. But
I think it's a bit of a letdown considering everything else we've heard, don't you, Dan?
Indeed, yeah.
So that is themes. I mean, I quite like the theme songs if you think about from 97 onwards up until I think present day. I think the Raw theme tunes have actually been alright, haven't they? You know, I think much better than compared to SmackDown. I mean, I couldn't name half the SmackDown ones, whereas I can with the Raws. But I thought it'd be fun to look at the Raw theme, so there we go, we do move on. Okay, so now it's time for our top 5 moments. Both get top 5 moments down, so 5 moments. It's 10 moments altogether for the WNR podcast. I think it's fair if I start. So yes, number 5 for me. Loser leaves town, January 25th, 1993, episode 3. Only its 3rd episode ever, Raw delivered big time. This match was a year in the making. Mr. Perfect had been Ric Flair's manager, but after the Nature Boys lost the WWF title, he blamed Kurt. So this became a rivalry so intense, they couldn't even be in the same company as each other. The loser will indeed leave town. So we talked about that, we just watched the first Raw. 2 episodes later, we've got a match of this caliber, do you know what I mean? So, to be fair, Raw was definitely changing things there.
To be fair to Flair.
Yeah. Elsewhere on the card, though, we did have a couple of interesting matches.
The Repo Man versus Macho Man Randy Savage. Kamala and Slick versus the Brooklyn Brawler.
Yep, that was it. And then we got the main event here. So it's going to be interesting to see. But the Nature Boy Ric Flair, what do you think he looks like there? Do you think he looks well?
The Nature Boy. Woo! Yeah, he does. He looks good.
He does look good, doesn't he? And he's coming out here. This is his last, obviously, Raw appearance. His last WWE appearance for 9 years until he'll come back as 50-50 owner to McMahon. And Mr. Perfect thrown in the towel. Of course, he'd be WWF until 1996. So here we go. Perfect and Flair. So we wanted a good rest of the match. We're finally going to have one here. Of course, our top 10 moments are going to be segments, are going to be matches go down. How difficult was you to pick your 5 moments?
It was hard.
Yeah? What about the moments?
I don't know, there was so many to choose from, and I didn't want to go with the classic top 10 that Raw had gone for, I wanted to try and stay away from that. There might be 1 or 2 crossovers from my picks, but, I couldn't help it. It's my favourite moments.
I think that's fair to say. I think it is our favourite moment. I mean, and this one here, I came late onto it. But we talk about the history of this, Perfect and Flair being the kind of perfect guy to come along, kind of give Bret Hart that rub, give him the title, and then as he did, made, spoiler alert, lost to Perfect, went away, and that was kind of respect that McMahon had for Flair. And I think, fair play to Flair, coming in, win the Rumble, the title, and then McMahon said, I think you're a bit too old, and he goes, alright, yeah, fine, and he did business the kind of right way. I think respect was earned there for him.
Yeah.
And I think with Mr. Perfect as well, there's not many great perfect matches that you can bring up straight away, and I think this is important that people know. Like, what I wanted to do with Raw moments is to have a Raw moment, like, right at the beginning, in the middle, and then, do you know what I mean, towards the end, if you're not, to try and celebrate the kind of 25 years that we've got. And I think it does well, I think our order is quite good. Oh, now Henning backing Ric Flair up with the chops in the corner. Woo! Got to be fair to Flair.
Like knife edge chops, and the classic Flair bump as well.
Oh, Perfect taking him down. And this is better than anything we saw in the first episode of Raw combined.
Yeah. For both men erring on the side of caution.
Well, you can think how important it is, Dan. If Perfect was to lose, he would have to leave WWF. And the same with Ric Flair. Their career is on the line here, We don't have loser leave town matches anymore because, Perfect backing Flair up with the chops. And now Flair bounces out, and look at Perfect. If I don't mind saying so, perfect combination by him. Working the jabs and Flair up and down. Perfect, I think, has got the... But Nature Boy Ric Flair always can pull out a victory. The dirtiest player in the game.
And he's got the dirtiest manager in the game in his corner as well, James. You can't forget Bobby the Brain Heenan.
No, I mean, Bobby Heenan's got a close connection to both these men. You know that Heenan doesn't like Perfect. He wants Narcissist to come in.
And the thumb to the eye from Flair. Perfect outside. And now Flair comes out looking for a folding chair, but doesn't find one. Or looking to beat him over the head with it, but Earl Hebner takes a chair off him. Flair shoves the ref, but the ref shoves him back. He's not taking any shit.
We go to an advert, come back, and it looks like Perfect's trying to roll up Flair, but Flair stops it. His tights went low then as well.
He did. We saw half a bum cheek from Flair.
We did. And now Flair picking up Perfect. Going to try and wear him down. Irish whip in a corner. Perfect up.
And Perfect down on the outside.
Well, did he just hit the ring post as he came down there? That was big impact.
Is Flair going to go for a suicide dive?
Perfect's busted open.
Perfect is bleeding.
I think when he got Irish whipped, his head hit that ring post. Referee's got to check now. Might have to stop this if there's too much blood loss.
Flair's dragging Perfect back into the ring with them closed fists.
And you can see the blood on Rick's chest of Perfect. No more chops in the corner, is it? It's just like you said.
Big right hands to the jaw, lefts and rights. Flair wants to keep his job in the WWE. Or the WWF, as it is.
Oh, Irish whip to Perfect. Perfect sprang out. And he's in serious trouble now. And look at wearing him down. That's kind of
Flair going for the cover. Got his foot on the rope. Earl Hebner doesn't see it.
And now Flair talked to the referee. He's got the boot across the neck of Perfect.
Certainly is the dirtiest player in the game.
He's saying, I don't use the rope, as he's illegally choking Kurt. And now look at Rick getting annoyed with the fans. He's like
not strutting and styling and profiling as much and wooing.
Because he's concentrating on Mr. Perfect, you see. This is the Perfect response with a chop. But Flair's chops are legendary. But Perfect, though, to his credit, got a few punches in him.
Well, Flair bouncing out the corner, but coming straight into a big right hand from Perfect. And now a lovely roll-up cover.
Oh.
But Flair managing to kick out.
Oh, Perfect back to his feet, caught right in the gut. And Ric Flair knows he's got Mr. Perfect hurt. Irish whip. Gonna hip toss him, no.
Test of strength between the two. Who's going to win this exchange?
Whoever gets to the knees first has the advantage. Can Perfect get down?
Perfect's dropped to one knee. Can he tilt Flair over?
Oh.
Only getting the 2 count.
2. Flair got wherewithal to try again to stop Perfect. He gets caught. The Irish whip.
Oh, and a big high back body drop from Perfect. Flair lands straight on his back. And now he's backing up into the corner.
Classic Flair. Perfect turning up in. Hold of Rick. Oh.
Drops him onto his back.
Yeah, brings him back in the centre the hard way.
Big right hand to the forehead of Flair. None of these men want to leave town.
Well, he's up on the second rope. He wants to bust Rick open like he did him. And you can hear Heenan shouting as well. It's a twist he's using on Rick.
Oh, and an inverted atomic drop from Flair as he was coming out the corner.
Oh, Rick rolls him up.
2. Oh, but Perfect managing to kick out.
Rick again backing away, trying to get outside.
Rolls outside for a bit of a break.
Gives Mr. Perfect a chance to recover as well. He grabs Rick on the apron. And now Flair back in the corner. Perfect coming after him. But Rick, again, maybe one step ahead at this moment in time.
Got a sleeper locked in though.
And with the blood loss as well, this draining Mr. Perfect even quicker. And Mr. Perfect could be unconscious and be leaving the WWF, not knowing anything about it. Heading Perfect down. Oh, the arm went down once.
It's gone down twice.
Yeah. Will it go down thrice? Oh,
no. Perfect managing to stay in it.
Oh, Perfect now slowly gets to his feet. Rick shaking under the weight of Perfect. And Perfect, sends Rick into the top turnbuckle.
And a backwards bump from Flair.
Ric Flair, to his credit, back to his feet.
Irish whip attempt.
Oh.
And now Perfect's got Flair in a side headlock or drags him down to the mat. Was it sort of a pin cover?
He did. He got 2 out of it.
2.
And now he's trying to wear him down. Side sleeper whilst trying to get the count at the same time. Gets a good strategy for Perfect. Just wearing down Rick. Now Rick slowly getting to his feet. How's he going to get at this one? Oh, back suplexed him up. Dropped him down.
That's how Rick's going to get out of that one.
Yeah, Flair's got some separation now. Perfect, holding his bad back. Having to use the ropes to get himself up.
Well, now Flair drags him to the middle of the ring. He's going to get the figure 4 locked in.
Oh, he's got it.
Now he's holding on the ropes for extra elevation.
Come on now. Blatant cheating by Flair.
Well, he's the dirtiest player in the game.
His career's on the line. Perfect, surely.
Don't call me Shirley, but he's getting away with it.
He's going to have to tap out in a minute. Well, he's going to have to submit. He's going to have to say, I quit. Because Flair's got hold of the ropes. Referee here, such poor positioning. Even going for the count, Perfect having to kick out. And with the hand on the rope, Perfect can't even turn it, so he's stuck here.
Well, the referee's caught him and he's been told to break it.
Rick said, what, me? But the damage is already done.
He's working over that left leg of Perfect. The man can barely stand on it.
It's like a shark that can smell blood. Flair knows that leg is now damaged. And a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest not going to do very well.
Headlock takedown. Flair going up top.
He's always successful when he goes up top.
Undefeated from the top rope.
Uh-oh.
Perfect catches him. Oh, throws him halfway across the ring as we go into yet another ad break.
Well, we're back and Flair seems to have gotten away from Mr. Perfect for the time being. Now Kurt Henning's got, oh no. Mr. Perfect distracted the referee by accident. Ric Flair's got brass nuts in his hand. Oh, come on.
Big right hand from Flair.
He had the weapon. That's not fair. It's not fair that Flair used those. The referee couldn't see him.
If the referee doesn't see it, it doesn't count.
Well, he's out. He's out. There's no point, Flair, you trying anything else.
Drops the elbow across the throat of Perfect.
He knows it's over. 2. No!
His foot's on the bottom rope.
All that cheating didn't help you there, but oh no, he's got him now.
Oh, another roll-up attempt, but Perfect managing to kick out. And Heenan loving what he sees there.
And look at Rick just attacking the cut. Rick picking up Perfect. Oh, big chop.
Ric Flair like knife-edge chop, but he seems to have woken up Perfect.
The right hand. That doesn't seem to have any effect either. Another Flair chop. A Perfect scream. Is that all you got?
As he limps towards Flair, who's backing away from him.
Flair doesn't want any.
And now some Perfect chops.
Here he comes. Oh, shoot to Flair. Flair bounces back up.
High back body drop. And Perfect's building up a head of steam. A big right hand from Perfect. And Flair again, he's backing away.
Again, Irish whip. Flair. Oh!
Classic Flair bump. Runs across to the opposite corner. Comes off the top rope and gets caught by Mr. Perfect.
Go for the cover. Oh, Flair managed to kick out.
Woo!
Look at the speed of the Nature Boy there.
And then profiling his way across the side of the ring.
Now he's backed up into the corner. Oh no, Flair caught him down. 2. Got the leg. Oh no. The referee can't spot the fact that Ric Flair's legs on the rope.
Well, he's spotted it now. Perfect rolls up Flair. 2. Oh, but Flair managing to kick out.
Flair now Irish whipping Perfect. Drops his head. Perfect.
Thick plex. Bridges out.
1, 2, 3. So Mr. Perfect wins. It's Ric Flair's last match, but I think it's fair to say a perfect choice for my number 5, Dan. What do you think of the match?
It was a bloody good match, you know, considering what we saw just 2 episodes ago. It was a bit terrible.
Yeah, I know. You're talking about the episode, not this. This was not terrible.
Oh, no. I mean, compared to what we saw, they was terrible. This, it was a vast improvement. And, you know, seeing a great match from Mr. Perfect and Flair, really.
Yeah, I think it told a great story as well, you know. Look, Flair took the shortcuts all way long, you know, using the brass nuts, using the ropes and advantage. Perfect having stuff for a cut as well and dealing with that. And, no, I think, like I said, a great way, a perfect way to start off our top 5 moments. So that was my number 5. Dan, over to you.
Well, James, mine happened not too far after yours. It was The Kid Heard Around the World, Raw episode 17. So it's just 14 episodes after yours. X-Pac is one of the most revelled characters in wrestling history. But well before that, he started off as a random jobber, but became a part of the first iconic moment in the history of Monday Night Raw. Well, during his first appearance on Raw, he was billed as the Kamikaze Kid. The next week, he was the Cannonball Kid. Throughout all of these early matches, it said L Kid with thunderbolts on his tights. After losing week after week, he came out simply as the Kid to face Razor Ramon, a guy so bad he was known as the Bad Guy. It should be noted that Raw was a fledgling show that was not yet important as some of the other more established shows that the WWE was producing at that time. There was usually one match between 2 actual superstars, and outside of that it was jobber squash matches. This definitely figured to be the latter, as Razor Ramon was getting a push as a top heel, and the Kid was basically a joke.
Yeah, so this is what we're going to check out now. We've got Heenan, Macho Man, Vince McMahon on commentary. And Dan, this is your first moment in Monday Night Raw. Oh, look, would you give it Raw to her? What were your reasonings for picking this moment, Dan?
I think it's probably one of the earliest upsets that I can remember. You know, it's like, you got this young kid, you know, he's the Kid.
Yeah.
And he's been getting squashed throughout, and the Razor Ramon's, you know, he's getting the push as a top wrestler. And, you know, you could put your house on Razor Ramon winning this match.
Yeah, I think that's right. You know, we've seen Razor. He's battled Bret Hart for the WWF Championship, so he's an established star as of now. Like I said, this loser Kid, I think the L stands for on his tights. But I think it's incredible this moment is 25 years ago now. You know, you talk about all the great moments in Raw, and if it wasn't for these moments like we saw Perfect and Flair, and now this, then Raw wouldn't have been, would it? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly that. And plus, he looks a bit like the Flash.
Yeah, so they're both tying up. Razor's obviously got the strength advantage here.
He's got every advantage over the L Kid. And there's 3 mullets in the ring.
Yeah, you got to love the mullets going on at the moment. I think Razor's looked the sharpest. And 1, 2, 3 Kid looks so young.
He does, yeah. You know, he's the 1, 2, 3 Kid, the Kid, Lightning Kid, Kamikaze Kid, Cannonball Kid.
We're just thrown across the ring Kid by Razor Ramon.
James, what moves has he got him in now?
Well, he has got them in an abdominal stretch, which was made famous by Wilbur Schneider. Yeah, not many people know that. Grabbed the leg and Razor checking with Mike Chioda and saying, everything I'm doing is fine. And he's just playing with the Kid at the moment.
Oh, the Kid attempts a crossbody but gets caught by a lovely fall-away slam from Razor Ramon. And this seems like an elementary match for the Bad Guy.
Oh, yeah, look at him slapping the back of the Kid. Going to Irish whip him down the corner.
Oh, a hard bump, but the Kid ducks out. Razor Ramon hits the turnbuckle.
Oh, he might be a little bit groggy. Kid going up.
Oh, shooting star off the top. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, my God.
And in a massive upset, the Kid beats the Bad Guy.
Well, moonsault off the top by the Kid, straight onto Razor. And look at the crowd. The crowd can't believe it either.
Catches him by surprise. Razor's absolutely furious, pointing at Vince McMahon and saying, have you Montreal Screwjob me before the Montreal Screwjob was a thing?
Well, this would make a Kid into a star, wouldn't it? And also make Razor turn from the bad guy, so to speak, to quite a popular face.
Everyone expected it to be just a squash match for the Razor, but no, you know, he ended up winning and, surprising the whole nation.
Yeah, it honestly was, like you said, Dan, the first major upset. As we move on, and it is my number 4 moment now. Steve Austin's funeral, April 19th, 1999, episode 308. One of my first Raw memories, and I seriously thought The Rock had stolen The Undertaker's gimmick. I was so upset by this. I thought, why is The Undertaker out? Why is The Rock out here now? Well, why is he near the grave? What's going on here? Little did I know what was actually going on. You see The Rock talking about Steve Austin.
Sporting some great sideburns.
I actually had the action figure of this as well, the suit, nothing underneath. Before we continue, I should give him a little backstory. Should say, the reason why why The Rock is giving Austin's funeral, Austin threw The Rock's title belt into the river in 1997.
Yeah.
Well, The Rock one-upped Steve Austin, basically, not only threw the Smoking Skull Championship into the river, but Austin himself. And The Rock, with this action, thought Steve Austin was dead. He had lost the WWF title to Austin at WrestleMania 15. And now we lead on to this moment, which is just a week before Backlash.
Dearly Trailer Park Trash.
Never heard a eulogy like this.
We are gathered here tonight to celebrate the loss of the biggest foul-mouthed, beer-swilling, finger-gesturing piece of monkey crap that has ever graced God's green earth.
This is an honest eulogy. Oh, come on. Audacity. Total lack of respect. You got a Kleenex?
Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock bows his head in reverence as life's eternal question will finally be answered. Will your Rudy Poo fit in that damn casket?
That's what we want to know.
Unfortunately, Austin, it appears that vision will have to wait until Backlash to become a reality. And since The Rock knew,
this is a long eulogy,
that your candy ass wasn't going to join him here tonight, The Rock brought something else here to bury.
Uh-oh. You're talking about that photo? The Rock will never let us down. He's always Hey, wait a minute. That's a Smoking Skull belt. Wait a minute. That lying son of a gun. I thought he threw it in the river. Oh, everybody did. He lured Austin to that bridge, and he never threw the damn belt.
You see, Stone Cold Steve Austin, throwing this off the bridge just wasn't good enough. The Rock is gonna bury this piece of trash you call a belt 6 feet under and let it rot just like your damn career.
This is great.
Austin, you better smell what The Rock is cooking, because at Backlash, the Brahma Bull is gonna come out snorting. At Backlash, the Brahma Bull is gonna come out spitting. And at Backlash, the Brahma Bull is gonna take his horns and spear them right in your candy ass.
Well, you got it to do there, challenger. Remember that. You're the challenger this Sunday at Backlash. He's The Rock. Well, look at that pelt. You got it. Hey, wait. There's Austin. What the hell is that? There's a rattlesnake. What is he trying? I told you he'd be here. I told you the rattlesnake wouldn't let you down. Where did he get that?
Well, you can't keep Stone Cold down for long, can ya? He always comes back, and he's got the monster truck. I wonder what Austin's got planned here. The Rock's saying no.
Is that The Rock's car?
Yes, sir. It's
That's The Rock's car.
He wanted me to make sure I kept an eye on it. It's brand new. He made damn on sure.
Are the keys in it?
Yes.
The keys are in it?
Yeah. I don't think he wants you to touch it, though.
Oh, okay, but thank you for your help.
He's parked Rock's car up. He's got back in a monster truck.
Your candy ass is fucking Austin. That's The Rock's car. Custom made for the great one.
About a $40,000 Lincoln there, Andy King.
He's backed up.
Oh, no. Oh, the pass! Oh, my God! Oh, God! Austin is destroyed! The Rock's new Lincoln costume with that monster truck! Look at The Rock's new car! Look at The Rock!
That's a $40,000 car there.
I mean, at this point, I just fell in love with Steve Austin. He's driving into the arena right now in a monster truck. Right to where the funeral's set up. Right up to the ring. And here comes Austin. He's popping a beer. Oh, Austin reversing out of it now.
I knew he'd show up. The rattlesnake will never let you down. You damn right. Oh, hell yeah, he's here. This is no way to show up for your funeral. Ah, it may be the Rock's funeral. Yeah. Austin and the Rock. This Sunday on pay-per-view in the rematch. But what's going to happen here tonight? You better get out of here, Austin. You made the Rock mad now. Good. Where's Austin going this time? He's leaving. Thank God. Get him out of here. I ain't so sure about him leaving. He needs to be arrested. Wait. The Rock rode that hearse in here tonight, and now it's being destroyed as well. First the Lincoln, and now the hearse. And now the rattlesnake is ready to fight.
And he's just left the monster truck in the middle of the hearse.
Oh, and the Rock attempts to hit Austin over the head with a bell, but Austin ducks it and hits him with some lefts and rights.
The Rock's in trouble, thrown against the barricade now. Well, the Rock has destroyed 2 vehicles. Now he's looking to destroy the Rock. Throws him up against the hearse. Throws him up against the monster truck. Throws him over the steel structure. And now he's getting taken up to the grave site. Austin's got the Smoking Skull title as well.
Knocks the Rock into the grave.
Stone Cold's not finished. Oh, wait a minute. He's going to grab himself a Steve Weiser. Also just throwing a beers on the Rock. Oh, classic Steve Austin there, celebrating with a beer.
Oh, but Shane O'Mac from behind with a shovel. One foul swoop, and he takes that title back off Austin.
Look at Shane's face here as well. It's really weird. Look. So Shane Man was the special guest referee at the time. But, I mean, you talk about moments, and for me, it's a classic Raw moment. Watching that as a kid and thinking what else could happen here, you know. I thought The Rock was stolen the Undertaker's gimmick with doing the casket thing at the funeral. Then you had Austin arriving in a pickup truck, destroying Rock's new car and the hearse, come out here, putting a whooping on The Rock as well. I mean, it's just everything that you'd want as a fan, you know, and I think that's why, for me, it's definitely my top 4 moment. You know, I absolutely loved it. Right, moving on to your number 4.
For those of you that may have forgot, when The Rock returned to the WWE's in early 2003, he took on a Hollywood persona. It's very similar to what The Miz is doing right now, since he recently returned from filming the 200th instalment of The Marine. Well, Rocky came back on the January 30th episode of SmackDown, and they still had his face theme playing at the end of the segment, but he was acting like a heel the whole time. But almost every appearance in this time span involved Rocky taunting and belittling fellow WWE superstars along with the crowd. He would do that by playing one of his famous rock concerts, which was when he'd mocked the host city for the episode of Raw. Even with that, it was hard for the WWE Universe to boo him all of the time, as the fans loved him too much. Raw 513 on March the 24th, 2003.
WrestleMania 19, just 6 days away.
And I'd just like to add that this is a lot better than the GPD's performing as well.
I don't know about that. We'll see how Rock, you know, compares to the GPD. I mean, GPD is a trained professional. Don't forget about that. Can
and
play
the Rock
the guitar.
isn't, exactly.
I don't know if the Rock can play. We shall see here, shan't we? You know.
We shall,
shan't we? Yes.
Welcome.
Somewhat self-serving, if you ask me.
Welcome.
Great athlete, don't get me wrong.
First ever evening with The Rock.
Look at the ring there. Look at
Rock in concert. The Rock feels so good. He's so happy. Why? Because The Rock is right here in Sacramento.
Oh! Sacramento. He's sucking up the crowd now.
I tell you what, the absolute best part about being here in Sacramento is in about an hour and a half, The Rock is going to leave Sacramento. No better song to start off the show with this. Leaving Sacramento, Sacramento, there I go. Leaving Sacramento,
wow, this is great.
Sacramento, there I go. They got some fat ass women there, and Rock is gonna just say no.
What a song! Just say no.
Well, I might take a plane, I might take a train. How do you people live here? You must be insane. I'm leaving Sacramento. Sacramento, I won't stay. Check this out, check this out.
Check it out.
But I'll be sure to come back when the Lakers beat the Kings in May. I'll be sure to come back when the Lakers beat the Kings in May.
And that's number one with a bullet.
So, Dan, why have you picked this one of your moments?
It's kind of being the Miz before he was the Miz. You know, before the Miz done it. And, you know, he's been in Hollywood doing some films. I think he'd just done Scorpion King.
Right, yeah.
I think it was about this time. And, you know, he was just a really cocky, arrogant arsehole. But, I don't know, you know, the way he puts it together, the music, the lyrics, and we all know what Rock's like when he's singing to someone.
No, let's see what he says there.
Oh, no, wait a minute now. Wait a minute.
Austin's jealous.
Wait a minute. Hey, don't get mad at The Rock because The Rock's good friend Shaquille O'Neal called him the Sacramento Queens now. Okay, we got to move this show along. We might be running out of time. Hold on. Austin, that was for you. I'll tell you what, if you can see The Rock, you can hear The Rock. The Rock's got a special song, Austin, just for you. Check this out. Here we go.
Oh, listen, Austin, don't roll your windows up.
You ain't nothing but a redneck, crying all the time.
Oh, man.
You ain't nothing but a redneck, crying all the time. Well, you ain't gonna beat The Rock, your candy ass is mine.
Oh, my God, what a great song. Is this going to be on the CD?
Wait. Not done. Well, if you think you're gonna beat The Rock, your bald ass must be high. Thank you. Whoa. We got an ambulance. Somebody fainted. Who fainted?
Girls are
Rock
fainting.
singing so good. Who fainted? Hey!
An ambulance has just come in and Austin screeched after it and he's following it into the arena after not being allowed to be in the arena because I think The Rock's got a restraining order on him at the time. And The Rock has just called out about 20 security guards or police officers to keep Austin away from The Rock.
We're in the clear. Now, for the millions and millions, who wants to hear another sound?
I do. Oh, look out.
The Rock concert's been cut short, Dan.
Just like the Austin funeral's been cut short, The Rock concert's been cut short by Austin. That was a great moment.
So that was The Rock's concert then, Dan. I mean, final thoughts about that?
Well, it was entertaining, you know. It's we've been blessed with the GPD of nowadays, and he's kind of like a guitar-playing douche cross between The Miz, but better. You know, he's a Hollywood brat actor. You know, and he comes out, sings some funny songs, and he actually gets to finish his songs.
Yeah. To his credit, he does actually. He has quite a nice voice, so we'll give him credit for that.
And he gets a very strong reaction from the crowd as well.
Yeah, the fans love him, didn't they? So, but we move on to talk about. I mean, this is probably dedicated to Steve Austin, but my number 3 moment is Austin Destroys Alliance, July 16th, 2001, episode 425. At WrestleMania 17, Austin had turned heel, but when WWE invaded, WWF had no choice but to turn to their saviour, the old Stone Cold Steve Austin. And this is a huge pop.
So a bit of backstory on this, James. What is it? Just about the invasion time. It's coming up to Survivor Series?
No, it is.
Or is it Invasion?
It's coming up to Invasion. So what basically has happened, WWE have arrived, and so has ECW. Have joined forces. We found out Stephanie and Shane are running these two companies with Paul Heyman to destroy the WWF. So at the moment, the main event of Raw, DDP and Rhino versus Undertaker and Kane. But we've got the inaugural brawl, which is 5 of the Alliance's best versus 5 of the WWF best. But their very best, Stone Cold Steve Austin, ain't so great. And what kind of Heyman's been saying. And Vince McMahon has been pleading for Austin, the old Stone Cold Steve Austin, back. But at this moment in time, he's in a bar, just drinking, completely ignoring what's going on. So we're going to focus on this main event right now. Kane and The Undertaker versus Rhino DDP.
And the Brothers of Destruction are certainly going old school on Rhino's ass. But can Kurt Angle step up to the plate and become the leader of the World Wrestling Federation against the Alliance?
Most definitely. He's been surprised once since WrestleMania to show that he's WWF loyal. And DDP was a stalker of Undertaker as well, so they've got history. Oh my God, this is broken down now. Referee's got no control. Here come the Dudleys. And
here comes Booker T.
It is.
And it's 5-on-2 now in the Alliance's favour.
Well, this is not fair. It's not fair at all. This is gang warfare at the moment. We want Stone Cold Steve Austin. We want anybody out here. Here we go now. It's Chris Jericho, Bradshaw, Farouk, the Hardys and Angle. Oh no.
More Alliance members and the Alliance outnumbering the WWF members.
There's just too many of them. It's gone crazy here on Monday Night Raw. Dreamer, RVD, they're working on Matt Hardy. Chuck Palumbo, one of the big men. Chavo Guerrero, of course. And now they're even fighting outside the arena.
Well, there's the Holly Cousins getting beaten down by 3 members of the Alliance.
Just incredible. Hugh Morris there.
Oh my days, who's that just pulled up in a pickup, James?
It's Stone Cold! Stone Cold!
And he's
Stone
got half
Cold!
a pool cue.
And he's beating the shit out, just incredible. And here he comes now. Where's he going to come out to the arena?
Surely not.
Don't call me Shirley.
There's too many ECW and WCW guys. The Undertaker team and all our guys are fighting for all they've got. There's too many numbers. And this crowd coming alive, chanting for Stone Cold. And there he is. There's Stone Cold. It's the old Stone Cold. Oh, he's talking. He's smoking. He's level. You know the look in his eyes, JR. You've done it before. It looks like the old Austin. The rattlesnake is back.
Fucking popping there. And the bionic redneck just making his way down to the ring without a care in the world.
So it's a huge pop.
Is that the old Austin, James?
Is it? Well, I don't know. Let's see what he does when he gets in the ring.
See how many stunners he delivers.
Yeah. Right hands at the moment.
He's hitting anything that moves.
I love JR. This is brilliant as well. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5. A 6-pack of stunners.
Oh.
7 stunners.
Oh, Kidman and Chavo in trouble.
Oh my God. Boom. Both of them get choke slammed to hell.
I mean, what a hell of a moment that is, you know that. I mean, I absolutely love it. It's probably one of my favourites, but I tell you something, Dan, and I know you won't mind. There's an even better promo about that, and I just want to play that video now because it's one of them all the time. I fucking love it. I love it. I love it. The music's so sad as well. Freddie Blassie and everything. Here we go. Last Thursday.
You know what I need? You know who I need? I need the old Stone Cold. I need the Stone Cold Steve Austin, who's a beer-swilling, foul-mouthed SOB. I need the kind of hell-raising Stone Cold Steve Austin who don't get no from anybody. Turn around! Come back!
Where's Stone Cold? Not only is Stone Cold not here, but he's at some local bar drinking.
I gotta go find Stone Cold, okay? No one's ever threatened the WWF like this WCW, ECW combination. We've never had that kind of threat. Steve, I need your help.
This Sunday at Invasion, in the inaugural brawl, it's our 5 best against their 5 best and their very best. Stone Cold Steve Austin ain't at his best anymore, now is he?
Starting tonight, we ain't taking it no more.
It is up to every one of you to take out the WWF forever.
Yeah!
There's no shame in going out and fighting and getting your kicked.
The line in the sand has been drawn. There's no going back. Okay, after this Sunday, there is no tomorrow.
But there's no honor in not fighting at all. Are you with us? Yes! Are you with us? Yes!
Gentlemen, there comes a time when every man must fight for what he believes in. Now is the time. Get up, stand up.
Let's do it, guys.
And fight!
Hardcore and crash, getting hammered on the concrete outside the... Wait a minute! They're stone cold! To the pool cue! WCW and WCW! But will Austin come out here and get right in the middle of this fight? And there he is! They're stone cold! It looks like the old Austin! The rattlesnake is back! Stone Cold Steve Austin is striking anything that bygone moves! Austin is leading Team WWF, who now has the advantage. They're all together. They're all for the WWF. And by God, we're going to be led by Stone Cold Steve Austin and Invasion.
And after all that, Austin turned on the WWF and joined the Alliance. I think one of the reasons I picked the Austin with the Alliance thing was because at that time, WWE versus WCW, it was the kind of biggest moment in professional wrestling. You know, WCW was fighting WWF for so many years. Came to that point, you were ready for it. You were chomping at the bit. Austin versus Goldberg, didn't you? You wanted to see Sting versus The Undertaker. You wanted to see Nash and Hall versus, I don't know, Edge and Christian. And yet you didn't get it. But at that time, you wanted anything to go. And to see the old Stone Cold Steve Austin back after what they did to it at WrestleMania 17 was good to see.
The old Stone Cold.
But that is my number 3 moment. Dan, what is yours?
My number 3 moment, it happened on Raw 1097 on the 2nd of June 2014. And it's before WrestleMania 30. A breakup of the Shield was heavily teased but never executed. The decision was made to turn the Shield into a babyface group by extremely positive reception. This move by WWE immediately stymied the threat of a Shield breakup. As a result, we got to experience more of amazing matches involving the Shield, including the elimination match against Evolution at Payback. However, on Raw, the unexpected happened. The Shield suddenly fractured in spectacular fashion when Seth Rollins turned on his stablemates to join Evolution. In executing this, WWE did an absolutely amazing job at tricking almost every one of us, including me.
Yeah, so here we go. It's the Shield's last ever entrance.
So Batista walked out on Evolution. And now we get set for our main event. The Shield, the group who knocked off Evolution last night.
This contest is set for one fall. Coming down the aisle, representing the Shield, weighing 265 pounds, Roman Reigns.
Guys, this is going to be some main event. We encourage everyone to talk about it on social media, including Twitter, by using the hashtag Roman versus Orton, because that's our main event tonight. Roman Reigns and Randy Orton.
Oh, talk about a career night. What the Shield did last night, a clean sweep over Evolution. It's unbelievable.
Well, that was a great night for the Shield last night, but I can tell you this. They cannot be 100% tonight. All 3 of these members have to be hurting.
Isn't it incredible to think these 3 guys, the success they would have, all WWE champions, eh?
I know.
Would you have thought that at this time? When you were watching it, Dan, in your PJs in 2014, did you think that any of these 3 guys would become WWE champion? Honest opinion now.
I honestly thought that Roman would go on to become champion. I wasn't too sure about the other 2. been the Majetti, the Giannetti.
I tell you, I thought
Michaels.
I thought Rollins was going to be the Gabriel of Nexus. You know, the kind of high flying baby face.
Yeah.
Didn't really work out. I thought Ambrose, they were building up towards a heel turn. I thought, yeah, might Ambrose, but definitely Reigns was it. Couldn't believe what they'd done. It's kind of stroke of genius, really, wasn't it? Why have you picked this moment for?
I just picked it because it's, you know, it's one of the most recent standout moments. I know we've seen like DX breaking up multiple times, but I don't know. I've chosen it because it's quite a recent moment.
Yeah.
You know, I think it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, well,
like an RKO.
The group was on top of the world, weren't they?
They just defeated Evolution the night before. Clean sweep, completely dominated. I'm not talking about any stable. I mean, Evolution, they've got Orton in it for starters.
Yeah,
they've got Triple H, who doesn't like to lose to anyone. And they've got Batista, who's the animal.
Yeah.
So, you know, I know the Shield up to this point they've been great. You know, they've been fairly unstoppable, but they've been no evolution. You know, they're not multiple-time heavyweight champions and world champions, Rumble winners. They're nothing of the sort. They're just, you know, three guys who have been together through NXT. They came on, they shocked the world by beating Evolution in a clean sweep. And, yeah, you know, up to this point, everything was going perfect. They're brothers. Yeah. They're together. They're tight.
Adapt or perish, that was the whole deal, right? Last night at Payback, the Shield adapted while Evolution perished. And earlier tonight, the whole world was a witness to their implosion. And the reason Evolution perished was because even though they are three of the greatest superstars in the history of this industry, last night they were not one like the Shield. In the end, they were just three strangers who happened to be standing on the same side of the ring.
They weren't brothers. The men standing in this ring are brothers. This is Evolution. This is the Shield. So Randy Orton, bring your ass out here and let me break your jaw with the symbol of excellence.
Roman Reigns is ready.
What's the mystery, James?
Well, here come Evolution. Broken. Beaten.
Triple H hiding a microphone.
Where's Rollins gone?
Well, he's seen Triple H with a sledgehammer, so he's going to get himself an equaliser.
Okay, that's fair. Couple of chairs.
One for him and one for one of his brothers.
Yeah.
In case you haven't figured it out yet, what I do better than anybody is adapt. Last night was plan A. Tonight, plan B. There's always a plan B.
What in the bloody fuck?
Well, Seth's just hit Roman on the back with a chair. Can he say accidentally done it? Can he say he slipped?
Might have tripped. Uh-oh.
Ambrose goes for questions and he gets a chair in the back for his troubles. And that is Triple H's plan B.
Oh, my God.
He hits Reigns once. And he hits Ambrose like 5, 6, 7, 8 times. Oh, another one for Roman Reigns. Another one for Ambrose, though.
Well, that chair
another 2 for Ambrose.
Is broken.
Another 3. See, he obviously sees Ambrose as the biggest threat because he had to hit him like fucking 20 times.
Well, you sold out chance in the arena. I don't think Rollins is finished yet.
He's giving Dean a chair. So go on him. Look, and Dean's still getting up from it. Reigns is like a little bitch on his back. Curb stomp from Ambrose's head to the chair.
And there you have the destruction of the Shield. I mean, Dan, final thoughts why you picked this?
I think in quite a predictable time, you couldn't see something like this coming. You know, just like 1, 2, 3 kid beat Razor Ramon. It's something that you didn't see coming, you know. The Shield are on top of the world. They just defeated one of the best stables, or you know, a stable with the most championship reigns between them. And, you know, you thought the Shield was unstoppable. You thought they was going to go on forever. But, you know, after not a long time of being together...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a couple of years.
They imploded.
What a horrible moment that is to remember. No, we do move on, though, to my number 2. And it's Ziggler cashes in April 8th, episode 1037, 2013. Dolph had won Money in the Bank in 2012, and we had to wait until the night after WrestleMania 29. It's one of the biggest pops ever. WrestleMania 29, it was going to be Swagger versus Del Rio, and basically the fans ruined it by chanting ever so loudly during the entire match. Ziggler, it was his time to finally, you know, reach the upper echelon that we've been waiting for as Ziggler fans for so long. And in 2013, we thought we were going to get it. We go to the dying moments of Swagger versus Del Rio. The fans just turned against this completely. Swagger was going through his kind of second or third push again as being a World Heavyweight Champion challenger. Wasn't working. And Del Rio, the kind of Mexican fans that Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero did, which again didn't work.
Well, you got Seb Carter on one side. What's his name?
Ricardo Rodriguez
in the other.
And Swagger taps out. So remember the Austin pop, yeah? Remember the Austin pop? We'll put that into this pop here and see which pop is bigger. Pop, pop.
What a courageous effort by Del Rio, but he's hurt. Wait a minute! Yes! Finally! Ziggler! He's going to cash it in! With the Money in the Bank contract! He's waited his time! He's cherry-picked this moment! This is it! We're about to have us a new champion! Look at this! He's ordering the doctors out of the ring! Hashtag Hardbody Red's got to call it! Ziggler's cashing in the contract! Ziggler can cash in for a World Heavyweight Championship!
Ladies and gentlemen, Dolph Ziggler is cashing in his Money in the Bank contract for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Imagine being in that crowd at that moment. Yeah, come on, motherfucker!
Del Rio can barely stand.
Here we go.
Famouser. 1, 2. Oh, Del Rio managing to kick out. Did he say fuck?
Biggie and AJ can't believe it. Ziggler going back to that injured leg.
And Big E going from being a silent enforcer to such an influential part of the New Day. But this isn't about Big E, thanks.
It's about Ziggler. Oh, he just missed Del Rio. Now Del Rio, cross arm breaker. No, we're going to go for the Inseguri.
Step up Inseguri. Nearly knocked Ziggler's head off.
The fans do not approve. Well, Ziggler nearly getting pinned there. You don't see that usually with Money in the Bank cash-ins. This has turned into a proper match.
Looking for the cross arm breaker. He's got it nearly locked in.
Well, Ziggler is in a lot of trouble now. What can he do? Oh, he twists the leg of Del Rio.
Oh, the injured leg.
Gets out of it. Ziggler waiting for Del Rio to get up. Zigzag.
Cover! We got us a new world champion! A new champion! Dolph Ziggler has cashed in Money in the Bank!
And new World Heavyweight Champion, Dolph Ziggler!
Well, you gotta give the show credit! He picked this moment! He picked the right moment! What a courageous effort by Alberto Del Rio! But Dolph Ziggler, Mr. Money in the Bank, he changes his name now! It's now Dolph Ziggler, World Heavyweight Champion!
Finally! Dolph Ziggler is a World Heavyweight Champion. What a moment! Dolph Ziggler there. I mean, it is quite incredible. One of the reasons I picked it is, like you said, everybody was expecting his cash in at WrestleMania, and then when it didn't happen, you thought, oh, maybe it won't then for a little while. Coming out here, and he deserves it. Ziggler worked so hard to get to the position he was in. It's a great moment to finally be accepted as a main event star. Unfortunately, Ziggler would lose the World Heavyweight title a couple of weeks later due to concussion and never really be a main eventer again. But apart from that, this moment here is special, Dan. Come on. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Indeed, yes. It was impressive. It's, you know, Dolph Ziggler, he's worked away for a while after this, and, you know, it's deserved for him.
Yeah.
Bless him.
Fair play. AJ and Biggie congratulating Dolph. Fantastic moment. My number 2 moment. And Dan, Let me see your number 2.
Well, James, talking of number 2s, my second favourite moment, I'm sad to say this, but it actually involves Enzo Amore.
Oh, my God. It's when he won a Cruiserweight title, isn't it?
It's not him winning the Cruiserweight title, no. It's when Big Cass kicked the little scrawny bastard's head off his shoulders.
Oh, my God.
Episode 1256 from the 19th of June, 2017. Monday Night Raw. Big Cass admitted he was the one who had attacked tag team partner Enzo Amore on multiple occasions backstage in previous weeks.
Let's take a look at this breakup. Very reminiscent of the Rockers or some of the great. Is this for you then, the greatest breakup? Bigger than the Shield, isn't it? For you, Enzo Big Cass breaking out is bigger than the Shield. We've got it on fact here on your Royal Moments, Dan. So you are wearing a T-shirt as well.
And of course, a bit of backstory here. Enzo's been getting attacked backstage quite regularly, and they're trying to find out who's been doing it to Enzo and Cass. Well, it's the biggest suspects in this case, and it's the Revival. I don't blame them for doing it.
Well, I think probably a list of suspects, weren't there?
No one liked Enzo.
No.
And of course, another suspect, the Big Show.
All right, gentlemen, you know why you're here. Now I want to get to the point. I want to rule out at least a couple of you. So Big Show, Cass said that when he got hit from behind, it felt like a very, very powerful punch to the back of the head. I gotta ask you, man, you know this.
After all we've been through, up and down the road together, you're going to ask me that? Kurt, you know me. And listen, as far as you two go, it's written on your shirts because you're both soft. I'm not going to attack you from behind. If I'm going to come at you, I'm going to come straight to your face and I'm going to punch you right in the mouth. And don't look at me, kid, like you want some because you get more than you can handle. I promise you that. As far as you go, Kurt, everything we've been through, you're going to accuse me of going after these two and sneak attacking them? If that's what you think of me now at this stage of my career, maybe I don't need to be on your show anymore.
There it is, Kurt. There's your answer. When our medical staff attended to me, they said I had a lump on the back of my head the size of a baseball. There's only one person here that can do that, and that's the Big Show. Oh. That's right, Big Show. You get out of here. We don't need a guy like you around here.
Easy, Cass. We still have the Revival.
I'm not too sure about these guys.
And ever since Revival returned to Monday Night Raw, that's when these attacks occurred.
All right, Kurt, yes, okay. We've heard the same thing for 4 weeks, Jack. I mean, look, okay, Dash, we're not here to win a popularity contest. I'll admit that. But, Kurt, you know we're innocent, okay? This time we're innocent. You've done your investigations, and there's nothing left for me and Dash to prove.
Whoa. You're right. After speaking to referees, producers, and other superstars, I've come to the conclusion that the Revival has very solid alibis.
Thank you.
So after reviewing this for the past 4 weeks, I promise you this, guys, I will find out who did this.
None of this is my moment.
What?
None of this is my moment. It's coming in a minute.
What? I mean, they were just shocked. I mean, Big Cass seems to have betrayed Enzo Amore. I mean, I can't believe this, Dad. I can't understand why he picked this.
He claims while he was hit on the back of his head. His explanation...
All right, let's hear him then. Hear him out.
Kurt, excuse me, I think I might be able to be of some assistance. Now, Big Cass, you just said something a few moments ago that simply isn't true. You claimed you had a lump the size of a baseball in the back of your head. Now, I did a little digging of my own, and I spoke to WWE's medical team, and none of them recall treating you at all.
All right, it wasn't our medical team. It was the EMTs that attended to me. Same thing.
All right, interesting. I suppose EMTs would be a medical team, not our medical team. But either way, what about last week? After you were attacked, you were never medically cleared and competed anyway.
That's right, because I said I would never leave Enzo's side.
Well, fair enough. We may not know what happened to Enzo for the few weeks before, or what happened to you 2 weeks ago, but I know what happened to you last week.
Oh, you do? Well, why don't you show us your...
So, Kurt, if you'll oblige me, I think I have some security camera footage that might open your eyes as well as the WWE Universe. Gentlemen, can we roll the footage? Now, what you're looking at is backstage at Monday Night Raw last week, and who's that? Well, that happens to be you, Big Cass.
Out of here.
And forgive me, but you look to be a little lost. Maybe you couldn't find your way to catering, or... And unfortunately, there's nobody around that can seem to lead you in any proper direction, so whatever are you to do? Huh. Big Cass, you certainly are being very ginger with the metal staging. And yet again, perhaps, maybe this is some sort of pre-match ritual you have. I don't know. It seems a little unusual to me. But I'm sure the attackers will be by at any minute, right? There you go. I'm sure you've been really paranoid these last few weeks. You've been getting attacked from all sides. Somebody's bound to show up any minute now, but you kick the box and... Wait a minute. What? If you guys could pause this right here, please pause it right there. Now, Big Cass, I find it a little curious that you're in the exact same position that you were found in by WWE referees and Enzo Amore. And you said that you were hit in the back by a knockout punch. But Cass, we both know nobody ever attacked you, did they? Big Cass, you attacked Enzo.
There's more to it than what I'm seeing right now. I know there is. I know this.
You're damn right I did it! Do you have any idea what it's like teaming up with you, Enzo? You just constantly run your mouth about God knows what every single minute of the day. You even ran your mouth to Conor McGregor. Do you know how many times I've wanted to slap you right upside your head? How many times I wanted to knock you out myself? But I didn't do it because I felt bad for you, Enzo. Because everybody behind that curtain doesn't like you. I felt bad for you, Enzo. Because everybody in the back doesn't like you. I felt bad for you, Enzo. And I have to admit, it felt damn good when I attacked you from behind. You're right. And I would have snapped your little neck like a twig if I wanted to, but I didn't, because I wanted to watch you suffer. And when things got a little bit hot and fingers pointed in my direction, I cooled them down because I wanted to see just how smart you were. I wanted to see if you were smart enough to realize what was going on around you. Or if you are just as dumb as you look. And I realized that you are even dumber. You are nothing more than dead weight that's holding me back from reaching my potential in the WWE. You are just dead weight holding me down when I should be rising to the top of the WWE. You're the reason I have never been a champion in WWE. I'm the star here. I'm the future. I'm where the money is. And your mouth just writes checks that your ass can't cash. Because Big Cass has always been behind you. Well, not for long. Because me and you, we are through.
There it is. Did you see that moment?
The tear.
That is that.
Great acting by Enzo. I can see why he picked it at number 2 moment, Dan. I really can. Oh!
That's the moment right there.
So your moment is Big Cass turning on Enzo Amore, tragically. I mean, Dan, what else do you want to add about your number 2?
Well, there's also a moment the next night on Raw where they come down together and Enzo says, oh no, it wasn't. Cass was just frustrated with not the wins, and then pow, right in the kisser. Another attack. It was a twofer.
Yeah, well, anyway, we move on, and it is now my number 1 moment. And it is Austin versus Tyson, January 19th, episode 243, 1998. My number 1 moment ties in perfectly with last week's podcast. Austin had just won the Rumble, and we found out Mike Tyson would be on Raw. How would these two combustible elements react? So this is Austin Tyson, and then we'll delve into it.
So this is your third Austin moment?
Yeah, well, come on now. Right, I know it's my third Austin. Austin is a huge part of Monday Night Raw. You had an Austin moment. Don't lie to me.
Yeah.
You had an Austin moment. So that's how good Austin was. 4 moments out of the 10. You know.
One was more of Big Cass moment.
Sorry. I forget how much of a Big Cass fan you are. But anyway, this is the important stuff. Austin Tyson. Well, look how smug Vince McMahon looks. So what is the biggest announcement in World Wrestling Federation history, Vince, huh?
However, at this time, I would like to introduce to you a man who is simply the baddest man on the planet. Ladies and gentlemen, Iron Mike Tyson! Mike, it is unquestionably an honor and a privilege to have you standing in a World Wrestling Federation ring.
Well, it's just a pleasure for me to be here. I've been a fan. I've been following ever since I was 8, 9 years old. I'm just happy to be here.
Who are some of your old-time favorites in the WWF?
Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah, all right. Don Leo Jonathan as well?
Nikolai Volkman. Man, I go way back from the 70s. I'm just proud to be involved with this.
All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we have awaited. The big announcement, and the announcement is that on March 29, at WrestleMania, in this very ring, Iron Mike Tyson. Well,
yes, indeed. Mike Tyson is standing in Stone Cold's ring, and business is damn sure about to pick up. Hey, what's going on? This was supposed to be Tyson's
Mr. Austin, why are you here?
Because I'm sick and tired of seeing Mike Tyson. He comes in, he's shaking everybody's hands, making friends with all the WWF superstars, and it's made me so damn sick I've been in the back throwing up.
Yeah, me too.
I ain't gonna shake your damn hand because I ain't out here to make friends with you. Mike, shut up. I respect what you've done in the boxing world, but Jesus Christ, son, when you step in this ring, you're messing with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and that's something you don't do.
Yeah, you're on a different planet now.
Let me make it short and sweet. What I'm telling you is I want a piece of Mike Tyson's ass.
Whoa!
Shut up. Don't say one word, Vince. I'll knock your damn lights out, too. I respect what you done, Mike, but you're out here calling yourself the baddest man on the planet. Right now, you got your little beady eyes locked on the eyes of the world's toughest son of a bitch. I could beat you any day of the week, twice on Sunday. Do I think you could beat my ass? Hell no. Do I think I could beat your ass? Why, hell yeah. I don't know how good your hearing is, but if you don't understand what I'm saying, I always got a little bit of sign language, so here's to you.
There's absolute pandemonium at the moment. They're trying to get Austin out of the ring. See McMahon saying you ruined it. Trying to go for Austin. McMahon had to be held back now as well. You see where the hatred was born. This is meant to be the biggest announcement in WWF history, and Austin's come out here and just
made it all about him.
Yeah, stirred hell.
Shane's holding Vince back.
I mean, it's just a fucking great moment, isn't it? You know, you talk about Raw moments, you talk about ones that you remember, and the things with celebrities in wrestling. You could argue it's beneficial. You could argue sometimes it goes against it. Because, like, when you look at what happened in WCW when you had people like Karl Malone and Dennis Rodman, basketball players involved, or Jay Leno, who was putting Hogan in an arm lock, and even now when Snooki gets involved, or like we've seen Seth Green or people like that get involved in wrestling matches, it seems to be a bit of a joke. Whereas the Austin-Tyson thing, Tyson reacting to Austin as in, what the fuck is this? Like, I've walked into the baddest man on the planet has walked into this place, and it ain't him who's the toughest, it's actually Steve Austin, and Austin's saying, like, come on now, I'm going to take you out. No, that's how they built it, and that's how it looked, you know, and to do it like that, as opposed to him coming in and then Tyson just knocking him down a peg or two, you know. I know we'd get the Tyson knockout at Mania, but I think it set it all up where Tyson kind of respected Austin for it, and it made the Austin character kind of break through to that next level of being like, fucking hell, and now we've got a true kind of global superstar. And that's what it's all leading to now for Steve Austin, WrestleMania 14. It's going to be quite unbelievable. But Dan, only one more moment yet left, and it is your number one.
It is, yes. And I know this ranked very highly in the WWE's pick, but I don't know, it's a moment that I just find really entertaining, and it's one of the best speakers on the mic, arguably of all time. And this is the CM Punk pipe bomb moment, and I'm sure everyone's seen it, but it is such an iconic moment. I've probably seen it about 10 times. And it is Raw episode 944 on the 27th of May, 2011.
I mean, I love this pipe bomb moment, and like we said, I could do 8 podcasts long about how much I love CM Punk, but this is your moment, so I'm not take it away from you too much.
Well, at this point, CM Punk was fed up with WWE and its inability or desire to push him, as his contract would soon expire. Thus, threw him a bone. Punk was given a microphone and permission to walk out in the arena after one of John Cena's matches and air out his grievances with the organisation. And again, Stone Cold does feature in this moment, even if it is only a T-shirt on CM Punk.
Yeah, because we didn't know why he's wearing an Austin T-shirt. We didn't know anything. We were just watching the same old Raw. All of a sudden, Punk grabs the microphone wearing an Austin top. He's like, what the fuck's he doing? He's walking up the fucking ramp. You're just like, what?
R-Truth still moving slowly after hitting those steel steps. Look at how quickly Cena gets back in the ring after he shoves R-Truth back in. Cena is ready. Yeah, you see what Cena's got on his mind? Yeah. Look at CM Punk. Punk doing out here. CM Punk. CM Punk moved the table. That attitude adjustment would have put Truth through the table. Cena would have won this match. Whoa. And now Punk and Cena, the #1 contender and the WWE champion, going at it. Oh, look out here. And look at Truth. Truth puts Cena through a table. Punk has cost Cena the match.
This match. R-Truth.
You gotta be kidding me. R-Truth has defeated the WWE champion. Thanks to CM Punk getting involved. No disqualification in this type of matchup. R-Truth took advantage. Well, CM Punk with really no business out here other than the fact that he don't care what he does right now, I don't think. I hope he's just leaving, but I'm afraid we're going to hear more from Punk. John Cena speared.
John Cena, while you lay there, hopefully as uncomfortable as you possibly can be, I want you to listen to me. I want you to digest this, because before I leave in 3 weeks with your WWE Championship, I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest. I don't hate you, John. I don't even dislike you. I do like you. I like you a hell of a lot more than I like most people in the back. I hate this idea that you're the best. Because you're not. I'm the best. I'm the best in the world. There's one thing you're better at than I am, and that's kissing Vince McMahon's ass. You're as good as kissing Vince's ass as Hulk Hogan was. I don't know if you're as good as Dwayne, though. He's a pretty good ass kisser.
Always was and still is. Oops, I'm breaking the fourth wall. I am the best wrestler in the world. I've been the best ever since day one when I walked into this company, and I've been vilified and hated since that day because Paul Heyman saw something in me that nobody else wanted to admit. That's right, I'm a Paul Heyman guy. You know who else was a Paul Heyman guy? Brock Lesnar. And he split, just like I'm splitting, but the biggest difference between me and Brock is I'm going to leave with the WWE Championship. I've grabbed so many of Vincent K. McMahon's imaginary brass rings that it's finally dawned on me that they're just that. They're completely imaginary. The only thing that's real is me, and the fact that day in and day out for almost 6 years I have proved to everybody in the world that I am the best on this microphone, in that ring, even at commentary. Nobody can touch me. And yet, no matter how many times I prove it, I'm not on your lovely little collector cups. I'm not on the cover of the program. I'm barely promoted. I don't get to be in movies. I'm certainly not on any crappy show on the USA Network. I'm not on the poster of WrestleMania. I'm not in the signature that's produced at the start of the show. I'm not on Conan O'Brien, I'm not on Jimmy Fallon, but the fact of the matter is I should be, and trust me, this isn't sour grapes, but the fact that Dwayne is in the main event of WrestleMania next year and I'm not makes me sick. Oh, and hey, let me get something straight. Those of you who are cheering me right now, you are just the biggest part of me leaving as anything else. Because you're the ones that are sipping out of those collector cups right now. You're the ones that buy those programs that my face isn't on the cover of. And then at 5 in the morning at the airport, you try to shove it in my face so you can get an autograph and try to sell it on eBay because you're too lazy to go get a real job. I'm leaving with the WWE Championship on July 17th, and hell, who knows, maybe I'll go defend it in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Maybe I'll go back to Ring of Honor. Hey, Colt Cabana, how you doing? The reason I'm leaving is you people, because after I'm gone, you're still gonna pour money into this company. I'm just a spoke on the wheel. The wheel's gonna keep turning, and I understand that. But Vince McMahon's going to make money to spite himself. He's a millionaire who should be a billionaire. You know why he's not a billionaire? It's because he surrounds himself with glad-handing, nonsensical, douchebag yes-men like John Laurinaitis, who's going to tell him everything that he wants to hear. And I'd like to think that maybe this company will be better after Vince McMahon's dead. But the fact is, it's going to get taken over by his idiotic daughter and his doofus son-in-law and the rest of his stupid family. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon, all right? Can we do this whole bully campaign?
What a fucking moment, but
yeah,
go on.
There we have it, and you know, there's also a good one he has with with Triple H as well, where you know he says this isn't CM Punk talking to Triple H, it's talking to Paul Levesque, and you know they cut his mic off, and then Triple H gets another one, and you know, I think this is what made CM Punk as to what he is, because you know he's brilliant on the mic, he's absolutely brilliant in the ring, and he is one of the wrestlers. As the you know, I wish he would come back for at least a last hurrah. And, you know, I'd say give him exactly what he wants.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I completely agree with you. I love seeing Punk.
But yes, Punk was given a microphone and permission to walk out in the arena after one John Cena's matches and air out his grievances with the organisation. That included calling Chairman Vince McMahon's daughter, Stephanie, idiotic, and his son-in-law, Triple H, a doofus. He mentioned his time in New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor while breaking the fourth wall. Typically, a professional wrestling no-no. Some have suggested the promo was a complete went-off script, but even Punk has admitted he got several of the comments approved. Still, the pipe bomb was a game changer. It made CM Punk one of the biggest WWE superstars in the world, as chronicled in the WWE CM Punk Best in the World documentary. The incident made Punk a media darling in demand for television, radio and convention appearances. WWE had yet another household name on its hands it could no longer hold back. As the story goes, some fictional, some real, Punk's contract was about to expire, giving him the opportunity to leave the organisation with the belt in hand. It was a storyline that played out in compelling fashion at Money in the Bank 2011 in Punk's hometown of Chicago. He would defeat John Cena, win the title and blow a kiss to Vince McMahon as he ran through the crowd with the WWE title in hand.
Yeah, so that is our top 5 moments each, or top 10 moments, and don't forget, let us know what your moments are on Raw, and what your favourite moments are, what you think of our list as well. Yeah, what else would you put in? Don't forget to contact us on Twitter at WWE Network Review for that. But a couple of honourable mentions. Well, I say a few honourable mentions. I mean, this podcast, like I say, with the amount of moments, we could have done 100. We picked 5 each, but I mean, stuff like
the Steph unholy wedding.
Yeah,
both of them.
Yeah, both of them. We could have just picked Austin, just to have Austin Raw moments, which I nearly did.
Yes, WCW ECW 2001.
Yeah, exactly. When they're finally joining, making the alliance. Vince buying WCW
Vince
as well.
Thinking he's buying WCW.
Yeah, then it's Shane.
And the name on the contract does read McMahon. Bischoff McMahon first time.
Yeah, Bischoff.
Oh, Bischoff, not Bischoff.
Well, come on. Who else is going to be? He's not going to be fucking
George
Goldberg.
Bush. Bischoff and McMahon the first time. when Bischoff is part of the company.
No, he became general manager, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they shared the hug on stage. And John Cena becoming the number 1 draft pick for Raw in 2005.
Triple H's return.
Yeah, Madison Square Garden was rocking there in 2002, wasn't it? Y2J making his debut as a Millennium Man.
The Rock of Mankind, This Is Your Life.
Yeah, one of the highest rated segments in Raw history. Beer or milk bath, pick you one you want. Kurt Angle with the Alliance, or of course Austin with him.
Stephanie Triple H, wedding and divorce.
Yeah,
the drive-through wedding.
Yeah. And then, of course, the divorce at the end where she's screaming. With the new collection on the network, you can watch all 100 moments. Right, so let's talk Raw 25. Now we're going to do before and after. What I want quickly, Dan, is are you excited for Raw 25 and what do you want to see at the event?
I don't know, I'm quite excited by it, but I think since social media's leaked everyone, there's going to be no surprises left.
Yeah, but is that a good thing, though? Did you want a couple of surprises then?
I'd like it all to have been a surprise.
I suppose so, yeah.
You know, it makes it more special, but no, everyone's been here, there and everywhere. And you hear that, you know, all the DX are going to be there. Nash was going to be there, but he's not now, you know, and a few other faces.
Well, even weirder was like MVP's going to be there as well. It's like he hasn't worked for the company so long, and how, you know. But for Raw 25 preview synopsis, celebration Raw Monday night when TV's longest running weekly episodic TV show commemorates its 25th anniversary with returning W legends like The Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Superstars from so that's the first thing they say. Stone Cold and The Undertaker are going to be there, so it's legends. Superstars from both Team Red and SmackDown Live, and an Intercontinental Championship match pitting Roman Reigns against The Miz, and much more. Don't miss the action from Raw Barclays Manhattan Center. Be sure to tune into the Raw 25 pre-show. So there's a pre-show to this event as well. So how big is Raw going to be? It's going to be an hour pre-show starting at 7 o'clock. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see Undertaker make a major announcement. I want to find out what's going on with him there. I want to see a couple of WrestleMania matches. Of course, I want to see a few segments and stuff to make me laugh, but I also want a couple of bits to look forward. We're going to review the whole thing. So is there anything you want to see?
I want to see some shocking moments. I want to see some unexpected moments.
What I want is a new Intercontinental Champion in The Miz beating Roman Reigns, and like I said about The Undertaker. But we're going to find out because we're going to watch it and then review it.
It's uncut, uncooked,
uncensored.
We are live from New York City's Manhattan Center.
Oh, yeah.
We want to thank you very much for inviting us into your home in 20 languages in over 160 countries around the world. Welcome everyone to Monday Night Raw.
Shane McMahon is on Nitro. I now own WCW.
Roman Reigns is on top of the mountain. Unbelievable. Ziggler's cashing in the contract. We got a new world champion.
Yo, Adrian, I did it.
The MRI showed that I have to retire.
I have loved this in a way that I have never loved anything else.
I want to thank you for the memories. The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever.
So light 'em up.
Tyson Austin. Tyson Austin.
Pipe bomb.
Shane O'Mac is here.
It's great to be back on Monday Night Raw.
There is a revolution happening.
Finally, The Rock has come back home. Yes! 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 Don't let him in here!
Oh, hell
It is now time, Dan, to finally talk about Raw 25. All this build-up, all the hype, and now we're finally going to delve deep into it. And we're going to start off because the Raw was so big this time round that we actually had a pre-show. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, I watched most of the pre-show, but then I was kind of in and out of it. But here's the notes. So we get Renee Young, Peter Rosenberg, and David Utunga. They all have a Raw moment all each. Then they go to the Manhattan Center where the King and JR say a few words. I tell you what, King does look young, and the coat he says he's had for 25 years. He's in full King costume, which is good. And they talk about, of course, moments from Raw. They said it's the hottest ticket in town. We then see APA backstage, which was quite nice. Hopefully we can see them during Raw. Moments, we see what superstars will be appearing tonight. They focus on Austin for a little bit about all the crazy stuff he does. They interview Roman Reigns, and he's basically very confident about retaining the Intercontinental title. And then The Miz is on Twitter with Maurice, and he's saying it's his time tonight to become 8-time champ. We see a Mankind clip that we have watched on the podcast before, and then Bischoff McMahon, when Bischoff became the general manager, and then Eric Bischoff did indeed panel, which I think was a really nice moment, because I really do like Eric Bischoff, but fuck me, he looks old now. He really does look old. I mean, no offence, he was dyeing his hair, 15 years ago now.
He's gone full Silver Fox.
He's gone for silver, but now he's got the jowls, like the jowls.
Yeah.
I'm sure we might see a lot of that tonight. Then we see Bayley in the back. She's talking about how excited she is. She bumps into Trish Stratus, and then there's a really nice moment between the two of those. Trish basically saying to Bayley, I hope you do well at the Royal Rumble, and Bayley saying to Trish, you were basically my idol growing up, which I thought was a really nice moment. I mean, but again, Trish does look a bit old, but to be fair, it is 18 years ago now, you know what I mean? So
I still would.
Oh, yeah, don't get me wrong. If you knocked on the door, I wouldn't be saying, "Oh, Trish, sorry."
I'd be like, "Oh, it's time to rock and roll, baby."
Yeah. If Linda McMahon knocked on the door, I'd be, yeah, all right, come on in. Then we'll go to Raw 1, and they show basically Taker versus Damien Demento. Wouldn't that be good if someone covered that? Which we have. Basically show a video package of that. Then we see as this is, I love this bit, because you've got the kickoff panel there, but behind him, obviously, you've got the entranceway and everything like this. So during the panel, you can see main event sign go up, so where they're filming main event matches, the cruiserweight sign where there's a couple of cruiserweight matches, and then you see Stephanie, you see Stephanie coming out, or you hear the music, you hear the reaction, and then Shane and Renee Young, credit to her during all this, is trying to go, and of course, don't forget, you can, talk to her, trying to scream as loud as she can, trying to get over the cheers. And that was basically it, because then, of course, Raw 25 did start. So, I mean, the pre-show was, I don't know, it wasn't really worth it. But then again, people could argue that WWE pre-shows aren't worth it. And the only pre-show or kickoff that people do listen to is the WNR podcast. And coincidentally, we are live tomorrow night on Saturday for NXT Takeover at 11, and then Sunday at 10 p.m. We do move on, and now it's time for
the Raw review.
25.
All
right, so I know you've got a shit ton of notes here, Dan. What I'm going to do... So I know you've got loads of notes. I know you watch Raw every week. And I don't want to kind of say too much over you. So I'll let you go through. Like I say, I've got a few notes and pointers. So take it away.
Yeah, well, my first comment was it does actually look like the first ever Raw, which I think is a really good point. They've even got the old school barriers. The ring looks pretty much the same, aside from the WWE version of the WWF logo. But no, I think it looks great. And then, we get a little intro from JR and King.
Yeah, like you said, the Manhattan set low, it's good because we watched the first Raw to compare the two, and they do get it spot on. I even like the ICO Pro sign they've got up in the crowd, and people might be going, what the fuck is ICO Pro? And like we talked about on the first Raw, that was Vince McMahon's kind of... bodybuilding supplement that he thought was a good idea. So they even got that down to a T. But then, you said then they moved over to the main arena, I suppose.
Yeah, they did. And we go to Stephanie and Shane. They get quite a good reception, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, Stephanie confuses me sometimes because she kind of plays the face character when Stephanie's actually a heel, and you can see the interaction between her and Shane.
Yeah.
They're quite brother, sisterly, quite friendly, quite nice. And you're like... So is this the Stephanie we've got now, or,
Indeed, yes. It is a bit confusing. She plays face and heel. It's, it kind of throws things off. I know it's a big moment here on Raw 25.
I mean, she always does. She always likes, welcome to Raw, she likes to do. I think with Shane McMahon, I thought he'd stop sweating when he came back, but it's obvious that he's got this problem.
He has, yes. You can understand that. Under the lights, it is hot because, where we sat pretty much ringside, it was really hot.
And I think the reason why he's wearing that jacket is because, with the black shirt that he was wearing, you've probably got huge sweat patches that probably
sweat stains,
don't look great on HD.
But it looks like he's got a vest and a shirt and a leather jacket.
Yeah,
it's kind of... He must be sweating.
Exactly. It might be cold outside, but he seems to always have a sweat on when he comes into the arena.
But no, they come out, they thank everyone... everything. They thank the backstage staff, all the wrestlers. I think there's been about 800 different wrestlers that have appeared on Raw over the past 25 years.
Yeah. And that's something they don't normally do. I don't know if it's Shane just saying that or what they want to say, but they don't normally thank the talent involved, do they? They kind of leave it as that.
Well, you know, it's not just the talent, it's all the backstage staff, it's the cameramen, you know, everyone that makes Monday Night Raw possible.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we get an extended look back at all the shows that we've seen throughout the years, you know, and all the moments, and we're going to get a few of these.
Yeah. I mean, and of course, the video you talk about being played on Raw is the one that started off this RAW25 review. That's the same video. Like I said, loads of moments. All of our top 10 moments basically featured in this. And I think WWE, you talk about production values and what they do right.
Yeah.
It is this kind of thing, isn't it? This video, looking back, that WWE do so well. Like you just
you also get the sad moments thrown in there. Daniel Bryan's retirement, Edge's retirement, Ric Flair's retirement. You know, and even Warrior's last show on Raw as well.
Yes, yeah, that is true. I mean, this is the thing, you know, and you look back at, like, just in general.
In general.
The Owen Hart tribute show they had, you know, Eddie Guerrero.
The Chris
Benoit tribute show they had. So, a lot of, you know, so there's been some sad moments over 25 years.
But, you know, they say this is all down to one person, you know, the man who started it all, the man who came up with the idea, the man who came up with the dream, the man who stuck by it, and that one man is Vinnie Mac.
Yeah,
do love the reception he gets though when they come out. The crowd just go absolutely nuts.
Yeah, Stephanie and Shane definitely wouldn't be there if it weren't for Vince McMahon. You get it? They do go banana, don't they?
It's just how they start singing his tune as well. I love it.
This is probably the best segment.
He looks old.
He does look old. I mean, what a pop Vince McMahon getting, but I mean, yeah, he does look old. I was watching Rumble 2016 the other day, and even he looked younger then, and that's only a couple of years. And then I was, because obviously I didn't have anything to do, watching Raw 1000, he comes out. That's, how long ago was that? 6 years ago. And you're just like, yeah, he is, you know, it's the eyes, isn't it? You know, he really has.
And the crowd, they're just singing along to his tune. I think it's brilliant. This is probably the best reception Vince has ever got in his career.
But it is quite nice to have the show started by Shane, Stephanie, and Vince to have the actual McMahons there.
Well, I think it would have been good if they was, you know, at the is it Manhattan?
This is Brooklyn.
Yeah, I mean at the other one.
Yeah, Manhattan's the other one, sorry, yeah.
It would have been good if they was at the Manhattan and Vince had have come out and said, "Welcome everybody."
Yes, welcome to Monday Night Raw. I think he does deserve a thank you Vince chant, you know.
Yeah, but I like what Stephanie says as well. It's like, you might be a bit hard of hearing Dad to say thank you.
Yeah. But that is actually because as well that Vince has got trouble hearing. Like, she's actually bringing light to it now, like the fan, you know.
You know, he acknowledges it. I think it's quite mad how he's playing a bit of a facey Vince, and then
it's classic McMahon, isn't it? Yeah. He's smelling the roses and he had enough. I didn't understand this bit. Shane and Stephanie say they started to GoFundMe, which I guess is because they want people to raise money for it.
It's something, you know, they could easily pay for this out of their own pocket, but they wanted everyone to be able to contribute to it as well.
And I think because the money raised wasn't enough, that's why they just got a plaque, basically. But still, I would hang it up in my room. I wouldn't have any problem with that. Right, so then Vince basically cusses down the crowd and said he did it all by himself.
We have a surprise for you. We got you a little something. Okay, now, this isn't just from Shane and I. It isn't just from everybody here in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn or everybody in the Manhattan Center. This is from people all over the world because Shane and I started a GoFundMe account to have this for you. Dad, we present you with this commemorative plaque for 25 years of Monday Night Raw. It's mahogany.
It's a plaque.
It's
a plaque?
Plaque.
So let me get this straight.
Commemorative. Says your name.
Here, hang on, let me hold it. It feels a little cheap. It feels cheap, but then again, we are here in Brooklyn. Give me a plaque after all I've done for you for 25 years, and you give me a plaque.
Everybody's out here thanking everybody. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The only person in the world I need to thank is me, because I did it all. I did it all by myself. I didn't need any of you. I didn't need my family members. I didn't need anyone but me. No one. There's not one person in the world that's ever helped me. Not one.
And we talked about Vince McMahon's pop, which was huge.
The Vince McMahon swallow.
Yeah, he always got to say it in his throat, hasn't he? Suppose he didn't do the year. I mean, Stone Cold Steve Austin, we talk about Vince McMahon looking old. How good does Austin look? You know?
Right.
He really does.
It looks like he could get back in the ring tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put on my notes, glass shatters, and Vince gives a big swallow.
Austin's just incredible. Austin out here, face-to-face with McMahon. And I think Vince is quite good in this. This is quite good for McMahon.
I see the look in your eye. Now, let me explain a few things. It's been a long time since you and I have been in the ring together. And a lot of things have changed. You look great, but obviously Mother Nature has not been too kind to me. What I'm trying to say is, Steve, times have changed. I'm now a senior citizen. But I'm a senior citizen, but Shane changed in his prime. Shane's in his prime. God, he looks so good. Look at him. My God. He flies off of one side of the ring to the other, comes way down. Yeah. He's changed in his prime.
Didn't he get headbutted by Kevin Owens earlier last year?
He did. Yeah. That's the last time we saw Vince. And now he's saying, like, he can't take it anymore.
Well, he's kind of feeding Shane to the wolves. Yeah. He's jumping off cages, jumping from one end of the ring to the other.
Shane's like, whoa. So they shook hands, it's fine.
Yep, he's saying, look, Shane's the man. I'm raising his hand.
Shane still takes a fucking stunner, doesn't he?
He still takes it well.
Oh.
They cued his music a bit too soon, I think. He's offering Stone Cold a beer.
That's a great line, my man. I don't blame you, Steve. He had it coming.
And for old time's sake, he's got a beer.
The fans start chanting one more time. He said, I don't think Shane can another.
Vince and Austin do cheers. It goes over Vince's jacket.
You do it again, and Vince, annoyed, but is going to forgive him.
Gingerly taking a mouthful of their beer. And now it's hugs all round. They finally buried the hatchet. And Austin's music hits for the second time or third time.
And the beer's coming. Look at Vince pouring the beer on Shane.
Tells Vince he's number one and drops the boss with a stunner.
Takes better than he did 21 years ago, doesn't he?
He does indeed, yes.
Do you think he took a stunner? Yeah, 20 years ago.
And Shane's finally recovered from his stunner. Austin's giving him a beer, saying no hard feelings.
Yeah.
Then Austin necks a couple of Steve Weisers, calls for some more, and he's going to his corners to celebrate.
No,
Cheers with Shane.
Yeah, that's nice.
Shane takes a big mouthful.
Spit out. Yeah. Well done, Shane.
Shane and his second stunner. So we see 3 stunners.
We do see 3, and there's a really good really nice feel-good moment with Steve Austin coming out here. Again, I don't want to put a damper on it. I mean, what did you think of the segment first?
I thought it was great. Yeah, it's good to see. It seemed like it was a bit too scripted for me, though. It wasn't that impressive, but it was, it was good for nostalgia's sake.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I think it's a great way, maybe near on perfect way of starting the show with Vince and Austin, consider the history. My only thing is that Austin didn't say anything, Shane. If he'd have come, said a few words, maybe WWE worried about what he would say, maybe, Jesus Christ, son, like, goddamn son of a bitch. So, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I know, it's a good bit after, isn't it? An 8-women tag. An 8-women tag match. We got Deville and Rose from Absolution, Fox and Nia Jax versus Banks, Bayley, Mickie James, and Asuka.
Yeah, Michael Cole said, we didn't have women's wrestling 25 years ago in Raw, and now we have. And I thought, I really like women's wrestling, but I thought this went on longer than it should have.
This match?
The women's match, yeah. What are your thoughts?
I thought it was, it was, there was a big brawl to start it off with, and Jax immediately goes for Oscar. It's quite a slow match, and then it kicks off outside, and then a bank statement on Fox wins it for the faces, really.
Yeah, I think it went through 2 adverts, and especially when you're watching it live, it makes me realise how much I fucking hate adverts. And I thought to myself, like, oh my God, and they're getting it a lot longer. And like I said, Banks did win, and then at the end, a kind of a statement, wasn't it?
Yes, it was an Oscar statement, though, instead of a bank statement. Thank you very much. Yes, and Oscar clears the faces from the ring, her teammates, and she throws them out as if she was eliminating them from the Royal Rumble. Maybe it's something that they're going to go with, I don't know.
Exactly. Well, it's a foreshadowing, isn't it, of Oscar winning the Rumble. But when they do that, alarm bells ring in my head, and I think, well, if they're doing it now, then what's going to happen at the Royal Rumble? Especially with all these rumours swirling around and stuff. I mean, Oscar is the clear favourite, but I don't know. I mean, would it have been nice at that moment? I'm going to offer alternatives. I'm not saying this is how they should have done it, but like Austin giving a promo, maybe when Oscar's celebrating, I think we should have had a diva legend like Trish coming out at that point in time and maybe face to face Oscar. But then again, it might not matter, like I'm saying.
Indeed,
what would bring of that? What would come of it?
Yes, but we again, after that segment, we was backstage. We got Jonathan Coachman, Harvey Wimpleman, the Brooklyn Brawler, Teddy Long, Brother Love, and the Boogeyman. All in Angle's office, and the Boogeyman just basically put some worms into Coach's hands. And that's pretty much the end of that segment.
Yeah, it was really... Brother Love got a huge ovation from the crowd.
I love you!
And it's good to see Boogeyman coming out, Boogeyman there, and like you said, handing people worms. But Angle, did have that kind of look of... I can't explain Angle, but rather than that far away look in his eyes, it was like he was having a drug trip. He was laughing and giggling at it when he should have maybe been straight faced.
But one thing I like to hear when we came back to the Brooklyn, is this Brooklyn?
It's Manhattan.
To the Manhattan Centre, and that's the King wanting puppies.
Yeah, I mean, does it set back the women's revolution a little bit?
It's just classic King, isn't it, really?
It's classic King. And, I mean, King does look well, like I talked about in the pre-show. JR, I don't know, he's gone through some tough things, isn't he? But it is nice to see him on commentary.
And then, yes, we go to the Undertaker's package, Easy James. And, it just goes back through, some of his most memorable moments.
Well, this is a video that was showed on the pre-show, and it's so well put together as well. Like you said, showing Undertaker's dominance on Raw. But the Undertaker's big announcement was next, and this was the thing that I was looking forward to the most. I wanted to find out what was going to happen with the Undertaker coming back, and would we see a WrestleMania match set up with him? Would he retire? Would he enter the Royal Rumble? I mean, what would happen, Dan?
Well, he comes out minus hat, jacket and gloves. I think he must have left them at WrestleMania.
Yes, indeed. I noticed that as well. I thought that was quite a nice nod to say, like, yes, he has got rid of that, but he can still come out here,
Yeah, but it's, quite an interesting segment. I'll let you take the lead on this as you are Undertaker's biggest fan.
Well, the thing is about this with The Undertaker is I really didn't understand it. It was kind of a mishmash.
Cryptic message.
Yeah, but even cryptic didn't make any fucking sense. Like, a lot of people have said since then, it's because he had tears in his eyes and stuff. But JR's comment was like, that's a warning to other superstars. So, I don't know what they're trying to get across. I mean, and even if you listen back to it, it was like Austin, Rock, Shawn Michaels, I buried you all, and then those remain buried. And it's just really confusing. You can see he's emotional.
The carnage began on this sacred ground of evil 25 years ago. I've taken legends and ripped them off their pedestals and thrown them in the cold, dark earth. Stone Cold answered to the Reaper. Mick Foley answered to the Reaper. Even my own flesh and blood, Kane, had to answer to the Reaper. They all tried. They all failed. And now, on this sacred ground, I declare for all of those who have fallen, it is truly time you rest in peace.
Well, then, you know, the dead man may be dead, but he's the American badass.
This is the thing, isn't it? I mean, do you think he looks in good shape?
It doesn't look too bad shape.
I don't think he looks in great shape, you know. I think, you know, maybe...
But then, you know, Ric Flair was still pulling out matches, and he looked in worse shape than Undertaker does now.
Yeah, that's fair. Fair enough.
I think if you put him in a match with someone that can carry a match, i.e. a John Cena type.
Yes, I think yeah.
Because, you know, you don't really... You've outdone the Triple H, you've outdone the Shawn Michaels.
Well,
who else would be able to carry a match?
AJ Styles.
Styles,
the Styles Undertaker match would be that kind of... You know, like the Michaels matches we've been watching with Taker recently, Styles could just bump around and make the Undertaker look great that way. But to not put him in a... You know, have someone else carry the load. To put, you know, if Kane don't want to do it, new young, you know, monster, whatever it is. That's what I thought he was going to do. When he said that, they all failed. I thought he was going to name drop, like, at least Brock Lesnar or something like that. Mention sacred ground again. So you rest in peace, and he's getting very emotional saying that, so all the souls. But look at JR.
Was that a warning?
Yeah, so JR said, King's like, I don't know what the fuck he said. JR's like, is that a warning? So the Undertaker says that, so if it's a retirement speech, no offence to the Undertaker, who I absolutely love, but that ain't on the level of Edge, Ric Flair.
But then they've already got their Hall of Fame centre stage induction for this year. So, I don't know, are they purposely limiting him? Because they could have bumped Goldberg back to next year.
Yeah, without a doubt, and had the Undertaker now.
And had the Undertaker main show. This is, you know, does this still mean anything?
But this is the thing, like, it's an excellent point. You've got to imagine now, like, I've always been against, with the Undertaker, I just want him to continue. And it's getting to the point now where, like, physically, he can't do it anymore. And it is coming to an end. And next year, he will be going into the Hall of Fame. And like I said, at that point, when the Undertaker goes in the Hall of Fame, Mark Calloway can come back out, and the Undertaker gimmick will be over and done with then, you know, who need the Undertaker. Yeah, I got a little emotional to talk about it there, but I don't think the Raw 25, the Undertaker thing was that good, to be fair. I think it's a bit of a disappointment. You know?
It was, you know, a bit confusing. I think, you know, he could have at least, you know, like he's done with Triple H and Shawn Michaels, where they come out, they look at the WrestleMania sign, and Undertaker just on.
At that point, I was saying to myself, we ain't seen the last of the Undertaker yet. I was imagining later some person to be in the ring, maybe Cena, lights go out, come back on, Taker's there, looking at him, bang, you got your moment. We'll find out if we get it as we watch. But anyway, move on, and up next...
Up next, we've got APA, Rhino, Slater, and they're playing cards.
I didn't find that funny. Oh, sorry, yeah, you're talking about the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
Yes.
But hasn't his son had more raw moments than he has, you know?
Well, and now we get the parade of general managers.
Well, this is a bit I obviously missed this bit. Yeah. I went from the Undertaker, and the next bit I saw was the Reigns Miz Intercontinental title match.
Did you go to the start? Did you see Miz coming out?
No, I saw it was during the match. If you know.
Well,
what I mean.
you know, you see John Laurinaitis coming out having a wave. William Regal, who is current NXT general manager.
Yes, which is fair enough. John, William Regal being there. Of course, John Laurinaitis, you love his voice.
Yes, Eric Bischoff comes out.
Listen to the pop of that. Old Jowly Bischoff. Yeah, you know you got jowls now. I really do like Eric Bischoff, to be fair.
Yeah, he was good. See what happens when The Miz comes out.
During there
this
we
segment.
go. I wonder where that moment started. So talk about general managers. We get Daniel Bryan,
who's the general manager of SmackDown, of course, but he's had a few Raw moments of his own.
Yeah.
And all the general managers are going along with the Yes movement.
Isn't it weird, though, that Daniel Bryan's one of the most over people in WWE and he's only a general manager?
Well, he can't complain.
No.
He came to play.
He came to play and he can't complain. He's an A-lister.
He is an A something, James.
Yeah. Well, look, face-to-face with Bryan. Something going to happen here?
Bryan doesn't back down, though. You know, he steps into it.
Yeah, he doesn't. He stands his ground, doesn't he? But why give us that moment if you're not going to do anything about it? You know, that's what annoys me sometimes. I want Bryan to beat the shit out of Miz. I think everybody wants that, you know. That's the whole. Yeah. That's what makes Miz great, is that you can go, yeah, he's alright, but I want to see him beaten up.
Well, you might get your wish answered because he is actually facing Roman Reigns in his rematch for the Intercontinental Championship. Personally, I don't think he stands a chance. But, you know.
Right, so notes from this match. Like I say, after the first advert, I tuned in. Dan, what were your thoughts on it?
Yes, well, you know, one of the notable things is there have been 51 Intercontinental title changes on Raw.
Oh, wow. I did not. That's incredible. What, this is the 51st change?
No, there's been 51.
Oh, so it's been... Sorry. So there's been 51.
Well, you know, we get a skull-crushing finale, close fall for The Miz.
2.
And then, you know, Reigns hits the Superman punch.
Yep.
Miz manages to kick out.
Ah.
And then Reigns headbutts the exposed turnbuckle, as we're seeing The Miz taken off now as Reigns is distracted by the Miz-tourage.
I tell you something, I really enjoyed this match. They had the match, didn't they, before the Miz went away when Reigns won the IC title, which I thought was a cracker. I thought this one was as good. For some reason, I would never have put it together, but the Miz and Reigns seem to have really good chemistry in the ring. And what's weird as well is, or I think it shows Miz coming on leaps and bounds, is the fact Reigns is the star, isn't he? He's the man.
Yeah.
And yet Miz in the match was his equal. Yes, of course, Miz-tourage got involved, which they would, and Reigns put them to the sword. But it was still, you know, at the end of it, like I said, with the exposed turnbuckle with the Miz and Reigns, that you can get for beating a big star, can't it, you know?
Well, it wasn't really that clean, though, was it?
Literally,
you know,
though.
It wasn't as a whistle. You know, you had the Miz-tourage being involved, Roman obviously getting distracted by them. As all the best stars get distracted by
all the best stars did, but I think you know the turnbuckle off second is a lot better than.
It's an innovative finish,
exactly. And the Miz using his using his brain there to try and beat Reigns, and I really like the match. And for me,
using his brains to beat Roman.
Yeah,
Reigns.
using his brains to beat Reigns, and I really enjoyed the IC title match. And I thought after the first hour, I thought, yes, it's not too bad, you know.
Yes, you know, and there's 52 changes on Raw now.
Oh, yeah, 52 IC title changes.
Well, Hardy Uso's an MVP.
Oh, MVP, first time we've seen him in
They
years.
join APA, Rhino, Slater, and the $1 Million Man for a game of poker.
When you heard Jeff Hardy was going to be on the show, are you disappointed he was used like this?
I was very disappointed he was used like this, yeah. And Heath Slater's... slowly but surely.
Don't call me Shirley.
Getting beaten for all his life savings.
Yeah.
Up next, we got Christian's Peep Show. Well, you know, Christian starts it off and he's introducing his guests on the Peep Show. And it is Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins.
Raw Tag Team Champions, of course, defending against the Bar. Is this a waste of Christian? Like, what is Christian doing a Peep Show? Like, I know Jericho's going to be on Raw, maybe the highlight reel, but really, Christian Peep Show? I mean, he only had like 2 sentences, and that was it, really. I mean, I think it's a bit of a shame.
Yeah, I think it was kind of overshadowed, annoyingly, by Jason Jordan.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, Jordan though has Vicky heat. I bet they fuck up when he turns him heel. Like the level of animosity when he's talking, the hatred from the crowd, like no other wrestler. Like I said, only Ricky Guerrero really has kind of had that. And like you said, with Jordan, the potential there, but WWE will always fuck it up. So then the bar came out after they talked. You know, like I said, Jordan was talking.
Well, Seth started talking.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, James. But Seth was talking, and Jordan immediately starts talking over him. And, yeah, he's getting a lot of Vicky Guerrero heat.
Yeah.
You know, things break down. Sheamus gets thrown out the ring. Cesaro's held up so Seth can come off with a springboard knee. Cesaro moves out the way. Seth inadvertently or accidentally, I say with air quotes, hits Jason Jordan in the face. And the bar, you know, walk away. They seem quite happy with himself.
Yeah, I mean, the bar, like you said, is it their time to be tag team champions again? They look strong. I thought quite a rushed segment. I think it was like, right, quick, let's get to the point, let's get on with it, you know. And like I say, to Christian, should just be there and then thrown away. I was like, oh, okay. Well, backstage, we do see Alexa Bliss, the Raw Women's Champion, face-to-face with Charlotte Flair, SmackDown's Women's Champion.
I wouldn't so much say face-to-face. I'd more say face-to-breast.
Yeah, but the thing is it because Bliss is small, or is it because Charlotte is gigantic?
I think it's a little from column A and a little from column B, because Ric Flair is medium height.
Well, Flair looks a little bit gaunt, but still. Was it good to see
Looks in worse shape. Vince, Undertaker, or Ric Flair?
I'd say Flair. I think Flair looks worse than Vince. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, Flair. Who are you saying?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on Flair.
Yeah. Were you glad to see Ric Flair?
I was. Yeah, you know, it's good to see him back. You know, he's smiling, styling, and profiling. But again, you know, another, I'd say, quite a rushed segment.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of built up to the fact that Charlotte's saying that she's like the number one woman in the company, which doesn't really help out Bliss, and it gets Flair involved. But again, it seems to be like, backstage segments.
See, look, Edge gets a massive segment. But he'd rather be in Ireland.
Yeah. I mean, where was Edge? Exactly. I mean, Edge...
he was on location in Ireland. You know, he may have been visiting Hornswoggle, Finlay, Finn Balor, or even Sheamus. But Natalya, O'Neil, Cruz and Natalya joined the APA for a poker game. And Heath Slater's still losing.
Yeah, I mean, they just keep adding character after character, don't they, to the backstage. I think the office is getting too crowded. I don't know what they're going to do about it. And then we move back to the Manhattan Center. So they've been entwining bits and pieces. Like I say, Undertaker was at Manhattan. The IC title match was at Barclays. And then we've had the Peep Show at Barclays. And now this Manhattan Center. This fucking 5-minute... Dan, what your thoughts?
It was awful. The only thing I've actually taken from this, thinking of Who's You May, I think it was, what was the Royal Rumble when CM Punk was New Nexus and Husky Harris came out?
2011
Royal Rumble. And they said that Husky Harris was a Sherman tank with a Ferrari engine. And tonight, on this night, JR said that Bray Wyatt is a road with a Mercedes engine.
So basically
he's recycling lines. Husky Harris is or was Bray Wyatt. So, you know, that's quite. I think that's probably the only entertaining and thing of note I've taken from that.
Okay, so the match was horrible. It was a squash match. Bray won in a matter of minutes. Literally minutes. The fans were waiting for an hour to watch, or 2 hours maybe, to watch a wrestling match, and then they had that Sister Abigail overdone with. But Dan, faults on Bray Wyatt. Maybe, just maybe, when I looked at, I looked too much into things. Maybe, just maybe, right? They treated him like The Undertaker on the first episode of Raw, coming out, weird entrance. Going against a guy who's a bit off, bit like Demento with Woke and Matt Hardy, dominating in the squash match.
What's that, my love?
Dominating the squash match and moving on to bigger and better things. Or am I just whistling Dixie?
But I think it'd be a huge shame to, go through all this change with Matt Hardy for him to just job out. to Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, no, I understand, but they did that. So
I think it was
that's what I think.
yeah,
You know,
I think
the
it
feud
was-
will continue, but like the
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt character, maybe they're trying to say because the Undertaker's gone. Like I'm saying, he's going to go. They need a kind of Undertaker-esque character, closest thing. Maybe they'll start treating him with respect, or maybe he will just lose to Matt Hardy.
Well, you know, we'll see how time tells. I wouldn't want to see Matt Hardy job out.
No, but I'm saying please give Bray a chance as well. And we're fans of both these guys. We want to see it work. And to be put in a kind of throwaway match on Raw 25 was, I think, hurtful towards those two as well. You know, I think it would have been better had it been a little bit longer.
They have, you know, much like the General Manager parade, they've got a parade of women from the past 25 years.
Yeah.
And we get the Bellas, we get Kelly, we get Maurice with Bump, we get Lillian Garcia, Miss Jacqueline, Tori Wilson.
Yeah, Tori Wilson, who doesn't look too bad at all.
Not too shabby, no. And Michelle McCool,
Yeah.
Terry Runnels, but the biggest pop of the night goes to Trish Stratus.
Yeah, Trish Stratus. Well, I put Women's Revolution. This is the start of the This is the Women's Revolution now, okay? So we've seen the women. So what they do, much like the general managers, go to the stage, wave, and stand there. That's what they're told. Good God, what a moment. What the fuck is Michelle McCool wearing? Can I just say? That's what I put down in my notes.
Well, this actually reminds me of, you know, at WrestleMania when they all come out and they've been inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, exactly. The women, the legendary women of WWE get treated the same as general manager. Terry looks good. Maria is a fat bitch.
She is pregnant.
I don't care. She's a fat bitch.
I don't know why Maria Kanellis is there.
No, because she's a fat bitch. Why? She's taking up half the room.
Pregnant.
She's taking up much space in the Bellas. And also biggest pop for Trish Stratus.
She actually looks good.
She don't look too bad.
You can tell she's getting on a bit, though, because of her elbows.
Exactly. Poor Trish, though. She's going to come out to the ring now, grab the mic and say something? Nope.
She's going to make a statement?
Yeah, she's going to make a statement. She's going to say face-to-face with Oscar. Is she going to say... What's she going to do?
Well, she's obviously going to move to one side so Lita can come out.
Yeah. Oh, there's no Lita. Why is there no Lita for?
Why no Lita?
Why is there no Lita?
Why is there no Lita? Well, Lita tweeted.
Lita tweeted?
Lita is a tweeter. She said... what was it saying about not making the list?
Yeah, so she didn't make the list.
She said, well, you know, it was...
I don't remember. Yeah, so Lita's not there. We don't know the real reasons why. Edge is not there.
Well, she wasn't invited.
No, but
basically.
Edge is not there either.
Hmm.
Live sex celebration somewhere else, maybe. I don't know.
Wow.
It is poor Trish, isn't it? She had more to do in the pre-show with Bayley than she did on the actual Raw 25 moment.
But this is a good moment.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I did actually put that as well. I said backstage, bit of a surprise, but it's a good fucking segment. And Elias had a lot of time.
Oh, Elias, so you got a lot of scarves around your neck there. Yeah. Actually wrote a song about you. I'd like to play it for you right now if I can. Can I use your guitar? No, you can't. It's okay. I got my own. I don't want to walk with Elias. Why? I'll give you the gist. You're a stupid idiot. And you just. I got you, right? You thought you were going to be able to... Right? I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. You just made the list! And your stupid scarves, too.
The list gets a massive pop.
It does. You just made the list. So I think it's a good segment. But again, Jericho kind of wasted in a backstage pose to being out there in the ring he did interact with GPD. And speaking of GPD, he probably had the most time out of any single superstar on this show. We had the segment with Jericho. Now we've got the GPD gig. And I tell you what, I enjoyed the way he controlled the crowd. He controlled the crowd way beyond his years, where they were chanting along with him, weren't they? We want Elias, and all that was working. And then all of a sudden, be like, you all losers, and the fans would hate him for it, you know? He was singing, he's putting down all the legends in song. Yeah, so John Cena then came out and says to Elias, because in Cena's song, in Elias' song, he says Cena and Brooklyn, and of course Jimmy Fallon have no balls. And John Cena.
But then, I think this being a special moment, John Cena should have come out and said, well, you think you can sing? And then he should have spit a few bars in an old school style.
That could have worked. That really could have worked, you know. But instead, what we got was Cena saying, "You want to hit me, Elias?" And Elias saying, "No,
I'm going to walk away."
Yeah, he's going to
drift away.
We're going to drift away. Walk with Elias. So I put low blow guitar finisher, and quite unbelievably, Cena gets laid out by Elias. And I know Cena will come out on top, but there's not too many times he's looked. That's this week, and his days as number one is now over, isn't it? You know, Cena doesn't get laid out, not in this fashion, you know.
I'll put GPD backs down, attacks John Cena from behind. Cena sees it, runs through his moves until he's dropped by a low blow, gets hits with a guitar, then drift away. GPD stands tall.
Yeah, and he. I mean, were you surprised with Elias standing tall in this?
I was, yes. You know, it's kind of things that wouldn't never normally happen.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I know Samoa Joe called out John Cena a couple of weeks ago, and they were meant to have a match or maybe an interaction at the Rumble. And it seems Elias has got that spot now. And Elias, I mean, he is now arguably the greatest export from NXT because people don't know he's from NXT. He's kind of became this character.
Yeah.
And to lay out John Cena, you know, and looking too much into it, if you look at the last time a regular day superstar took out a so-called legend, go back to Raw 1000 when CM Punk laid out The Rock. Now, I'm not saying Elias is CM Punk, but
far from it.
But the GPD has definitely got something here, you know. And I think they might be playing off his heat though. Yeah. And I think also this is not John Cena's WrestleMania match. You know, I think what I mean. I think there's still going to be something else for Cena to do at Mania. I don't think it's going to be against GPD. I think this will sort itself out in the next, in the next month or so, and then we can lead up towards that. Because at this point, I thought Cena was going to lay out Elias, and like I said, lights go out, Taker's in the ring face to face, but
would have been good.
Yeah, but instead it did GPD. All right, what's next?
Up next, the New Day join the poker table. $1 Million Man wins, and Farouk says, "Damn!" And then obviously that's kind of arranged a match.
Yeah, you said Heath Slater was.
He was caught cheating.
Yeah, he was caught cheating. JBL said, "There'll be no fighting here. There'll be no fighting on the room. If you want to do it, do your fighting in the ring." So we're going to have Heath Slater and Rhino versus Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews in a minute.
Yeah, after that we see Mark Henry walking through and he comes across his old friend, the Godfather.
Yeah, and the Godfather looks really well, doesn't he?
He does, yes. And he's with one of his hoes, perhaps.
Yeah.
Mark Henry starts trying to chat her up. And he says, "No, this is my wife."
I thought it was really, really funny. Yeah, all I've got is Mark Henry, Godfather. Godfather says, "This man used to be sexual chocolate," you know.
And he's like, "That's a long time ago."
Yeah, and he goes, "But you still could be," you know. And then she thought it was a hoe, and it was his wife. And I'm glad they did. But Mark Henry is surely no longer in wrestling.
Well, don't call me Shirley, but it doesn't look like he's around for much longer.
Wrestling state. Speaking of which, look how wide Rhino is. I keep talking about Rhino.
Wide.
Fucking more wide than anything else. So we had the Jobbers tag team match, and did this lead to anything, Dan?
James?
Oh. Yeah, so nothing really happened. It was an easy match now, yeah. Yeah, we had the Dudley boys coming down.
Bubba Ray looking for his tag, his high five, and Devon kind of walks through it.
And now they're in the ring.
They're like, all of you, come on. And no one wants to get in the ring with the Dudley boys duo.
No, it's 4 against 2. I mean, the Dudleys are tough, but it's been a long time since we've seen them together.
And, Heath Slater kind of into the wolves, so to speak.
Bubba looks well, though.
By his tag team partner as well. I'm not too keen on Dana Brooke in this situation.
Oh, I don't know what situation. I don't know what Dana Brooke is doing now. Apparently she's an accountant. So Slater then
He's a statistician.
Yeah, easy for you to say. What about if good if Trish Stratus was a statistician? Statistician, yeah. Yeah, so Heath Slater comes to the ring and gets the "was up" headbutt by the Dudleys, but they're not finished there, are they?
They are by no means finished there. I mean, you know, aside from using a late 90s reference in the "was up," I remember the
Budweiser advert, yeah. They did it in Scary Movie as well, I think.
What are you doing? Chilling, drinking a bird.
Anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the Dudleys, another 90s reference.
Yes. And Devon got the tables. Heath Slater went through the tables. And Rhino's up there applauding his tag team partner getting 3D'd for a table.
Yeah.
What the fuck is up with Devon's forehead? Well, of course, Rhino and the Dudleys, good friends.
Well, Rhino, part of obviously the last ever ECW champion, so he knows the Dudleys back from when. Of course, the two other blacks. That's right. I know you like Woken Matt Hardy, but wouldn't it be great if we saw the Dudleys and then all of a sudden the Hardys came out and then Edge and Christian and you had the 3-team tag team reunion, eh?
That would have been awesome.
It would have been awesome, wouldn't it? And then you could have... oh my God, I forgot who the tag team champions are. Rollins and Jordan. You could have either Rollins and Jordan or the Usos there interacting with the 3 great tag teams, you know. I think it would have missed the moment, but like we said, Edge obviously not here, and Jeff and Matt
unfortunately,
kept separately. I mean, would you... Yeah, the Hardys together would have been better.
That would have been better, yeah.
Than the Woken Matt Hardy.
But AJ's backstage, and he doesn't want to get interviewed by just...
Yeah, not any old person. Who would he want to get interviewed by then?
Probably the best ever interviewee.
Who's that? What, Todd Grisham? Who?
Close. It is Mean Gene Okerlund.
Oh, your favourite, Dan. I mean, did you love seeing Mean Gene?
I loved it. It was a brilliant nostalgia pop.
Yeah, I mean, how do you think he looks?
Terrible.
Yeah,
he looks old.
He does.
I don't even think he knows what's going on.
He doesn't know where he is. Someone woke him up, and now he's in an arena. He doesn't know what he's doing. Microphone in hand. Oh, yeah. Right at the start, Mean Gene Okerlund. I put talking to the mic, Gene. Poor fucker. I mean, even his speech is not really Mean Gene anymore, is it? But
he's still there. I'd let him read me a story to sleep.
Oh, that's probably the weirdest thing you ever said. But yeah, he's an absolute legend. And AJ here just comes across as a complete star as well, doesn't he?
Well, let me tell you, Mean Gene.
Yeah, Hulk Styles. You got any other notes about this?
AJ backstage. He got company. Mean Gene Okerlund. Yes.
Yes, indeed. And then we move over to Manhattan, and it is Triple H and Shawn Michaels coming out here as DX. And do you want to watch it?
Are we going to watch it? Do you want to watch it?
It's up to you.
I think Triple H gets really intense, reminiscing.
He does his NXT thing, doesn't he? That's what he does his NXT talk. You started it, we are here now. Like, you are the ones that did it.
Or is his NXT talk his DX talk?
Well, this is weird,
what
isn't it?
came first, the chicken or the egg?
But that's what he does, isn't it? He does his NXT talk. 3 glow sticks. I put it aside.
Yeah.
3 glow sticks. At the moment, Dan, it's Triple H is going to be his first Mania not having a match since WrestleMania 23. Do you think, or should Triple H have a WrestleMania match this year? Does he deserve it?
Well, you know, he could come out and win the Rumble.
Oh, God, don't say that again. No. They do this shtick all the time, don't they? They come out here and Sean's now tired because he's been running round. They never did it originally. It's only been something he's been doing the past few years.
And then he feigns his tiredness.
Yeah. New DX tops just for 25 years. And, of course, don't forget, I should note, you know, people in Manhattan have been waiting to watch stuff, and yes, they've had The Undertaker and DX, but the people who spent their money to go into Barclays Centre to watch the match, they're not getting... They might get Austin, but you're not getting...
Well, let me give you what crowd would you rather have been in?
Well, this is a difficult thing, isn't it? Because you don't get DX, you haven't got The Undertaker, you've had Austin and Reigns match, haven't you? So depending on what happens afterwards...
But then, you know, you would have spent most of your time there watching it on the big screen.
Yeah, I know. I would say, oh fuck, it's difficult. But
Would you rather have Austin stunning McMahon, or would you rather have Undertaker and DX?
If you had, well, then again, is there a bad seat in Manhattan Center? Depending on price. I think overall, I would rather be in fucking Aston. What would you be in?
For nostalgia's sakes, and knowing that I probably wouldn't get to see him again or any other time, I'd rather be there.
Yeah, but do you think it was a waste? I suppose we talk about it at the end, but do you think it's a waste of money being in Manhattan Center? You know what I mean? Or do you think they actually got value for money?
Again, it depends on how much they was knocking out the tickets for. You know, I'm guessing they wasn't cheap at all.
No, apparently it was the WWE hardcore fans. It was like kind of WrestleMania crowd that paying top dollars, you know, and even JR said like tickets were going for hundreds of dollars, you know, so it might be like a kind of minor disappointment, and that's what I thought would be nice if they kind of split the show up and had like an hour in the Manhattan Center as like a kind of original Raw type thing.
Yeah.
Doing that, you get your value for money, because at least it's an hour constant, then, isn't it? And then move over to Barclays Center. You got your 2 hour show there. Have the kind of build up towards the Rumble as well. Like if you have to put a couple of segments in there about that, but I would say probably I think you got a better deal if you're in Barclays Center. So looking back, I think I'd rather be in the if I had good seats in the Barclays Center, it'd probably be better, because in the Manhattan Center you only got a couple of, obviously we've got the DX one, you know, and you got the Bray Wyatt Woke and Matt Hardy match, but we saw the reaction to the crowd for the Cruiserweight match that happened on this show as well, where they were chanting bullshit and hating it, you know, so so they talk about a couple of explicit moments.
But again, for someone to represent an anti-authority, he's actually, you know, anti himself.
Yeah, I know. It's a joke, you know.
It's almost as bad as Stephanie McMahon being face 1 minute, heel the next. These fucking, you know, these two married idiots are perfect for each other.
Exactly, because you know, in NXT he's kind of like the saviour, the god of NXT, and gets the kind of reaction. He come do DX, but yet he'll come out with Stephanie, and they'll both talk about how great they are. As you know, it's just it's a confusing thing, and it makes it takes away from it as well, if you know what I mean. Like being together for a reason as opposed to just being put together for a show. You know, I know Shawn Michaels is retired now. Oh, sorry, he's doing a speech now, isn't he?
We
NXT.
are NXT.
You started the fight. We bring it on. You Triple H come out with Shawn Michaels. Like we say, he's giving his big NXT speech. He's mentioning, we can mention China now because she's dead and no longer a threat to the WWE.
Yes.
Bit like Rick Rude, really, and they're saying they changed the industry 20 years ago and doing it since. Again, I'd probably disagree, because I think DX maybe been a thing. You know, we talk about 98, 99 maybe, yes, but then
they've helped carry the brand forward. I mean, DX was certainly entertaining during the time, and we're going to cover a lot of their shenanigans.
But like I say, believe it or not, kids, these old men used to be degenerates, and this is the thing about it.
It is, yeah. You know, some people are watching saying, "Who's DX? He's the man. He's the COO."
Yeah, it's like exactly COO. And
are you ready? No, I said, are you ready? Because when I said we didn't come alone.
Oh, you didn't know? You better call somebody. You recognize that voice, JR?
Absolutely.
Road Dogg. Cut the damn music. Manhattan Center, New York City. Let's get down to the real nitty-gritty. I want you to say it like you mean it. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, tonight, D-Generation X proudly brings to you its 6th-time WWE Tag Team Champions of the World, the Road Dogg, Jesse James, the Badass Billy Gunn, the New Age Outlaws.
And And of course, his tag team partner Kevin Nash couldn't be around because he is currently recovering from knee surgery. Unfortunately, it would be good to see the Outsiders back together again.
Exactly, it would have been a nice moment. And Sky went to an advert then, and then I thought that was the end of the segment. I thought they've introduced Scott Hall. That's it now. But no, after a 5-minute break,
hey yo,
Scott Hall waiting for his cue. You'll be able to see it. Oh, you didn't know? You better call somebody. I don't think that was the line, was it?
But they can call him Badass Billy Gunn.
Yeah. And my God, Road Dogg has put on some timber this past even 5 years since Raw 1000.
Billy Gunn, though, looks still incredible.
Fair play to him. He looks so good to me. I would rather have Billy and Chuck reunion. He didn't come alone.
Oh my God, they've dragged him from his fucking grave, bless him.
New Age Outlaws, and I like to call them X-Pac Crazy Eyes. I mean, there is... If you look up crystal meth user in a dictionary, you're going to get a picture of X-Pac.
You're going to get a picture of X-Pac, yeah. And if you listen to Crackhead speaking, you're going to hear the first part of what X-Pac says, or not hear it.
Man, center, bring some out and make a little noise! Yeah!
What?
What?
What did he just say?
Make some noise! Man, center, bring some out and make a little noise! Yeah!
That's nice. 1, 2, 3 chant, thanks to Dan's moment. He doesn't know what he's saying or doing. Oh, but they're saying someone else is involved.
Someone who looks even worse than X-Pac.
Oh, I don't know, Dan. As recovering alcoholics go, Scott Hall doesn't look too bad.
X-Pac. Right. The band really is back together. There's a lot of combustible elements in this ring right now, and a lot of talent.
Hey, yo! Now, everybody knows, you can't have a party on Raw without the bad guy. And I've been watching the whole show from both locations, and this Raw 25 thing, I think we can all agree, all these fans agree, everybody watching at home agrees, this Raw 25 is just too sweet.
So he came out as Razor Ramon, not Scott Hall, you see, so makes sense.
Have you ever seen Razor and Scott Hall in the room at the same time, though?
I actually haven't, no.
Exactly.
No. Too sweet. And as they say that, they get interrupted by Balor's boys. Balor Club. Dan, were you pleased to see Finn Balor at this moment in time?
I was, yes. I thought they'd missed him out. I was hoping to see maybe a bit of Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, maybe.
Missed out again. I know he hasn't had many Raw or SmackDown moments, but nor's Finn Balor, really.
No, but Balor's out here, and is he just about to get squashed? That's what I was worried about. Maybe the Balor Club going to get beaten down by these 40-something, 40-something-year-olds. But isn't it incredible to think, Dan, that these three guys were doing nothing a couple of weeks ago and then finally being reformed on Raw, and they're having, it seems, a purpose now, It
seems as if they've part of the clique, but they're going to have a square off with DX and Razor Ramon.
X-Pac, give him some of your crazy eyes. How fucking annoying is that chant?
Sweet chin music.
Exactly, Finn Balor are down. But instead they go...
Triple H is too sweet, looks really weird. It looks like he's all bent up.
Got a big finger. So they're all too sweet in the ring. In
the ring?
In the ring, and Billy Gunn now. Got 2 words for you.
And of course, if you're not No.
That's the end of the segment. We move on, and nothing else happens in this. And there's DX. I mean, what did you think? No, we can't. Right. So I don't want to. So, pound for pound, the past 2 years, Dan and myself, either or, have picked the Revival as the greatest tag team in WWE. It's fair to say they are. Dash and Dawson.
Yeah, they thoroughly impressed us throughout their time in NXT. We was just really impressed by their old school style of tag team action, and they brought a new life to it as well. No flips, just fists.
Exactly, and unfortunately for them, with great matches against American Alpha and people like that in NXT, moving up to the main roster, we had high hopes, and they've just come out. And they are the Damien Sandow of RAW25 right now, because I hate to say it, but he was a dude who got beaten up by DX last time. The Revival were beaten in. I think this was even quicker than the
Bray match,
the Bray Matt Hardy match. Yeah, they get beaten, and afterwards, my God, I can't even.
Well, Dawson, he turns Razor around. Oh, and he gets
toothpick in the eye.
X Factor.
But he's still not dropped down. Now it's Road Dogg's turn. Do a bit of shake, rattle and roll. Famous said by Billy Gunn. Dawson out.
Dash in. Sweet chin music. A pedigree.
And DX destroy the Revival. I mean, I don't know. I really didn't like the end of that. Dan, what were your thoughts on the DX segment?
I thought the DX segment was good. Again, good for a bit of nostalgia. I don't like seeing the Revival getting battered, by, was it 9 guys on 2?
Yeah,
I mean, the numbers weren't exactly in their favour. I know they started it, but,
So after hours of action, we go back to the Barclays Centre, and Kurt Angle is bringing out basically everybody we saw in backstage segments. That would be fine. That's a fair comment, isn't it,
Yeah, pretty much. Everyone who's anyone, they're like, yeah, you get another 5 minutes of fame.
Exactly. So you get any notes on this bit?
All I got was Revival get beaten down after the match. Surround the ring. Kane, Strowman and Brock face to face to face. Strowman cleans house. Brock through the announce table. Job done.
Well, at least, I tell you what I didn't get, right? Why did Angle invite all these people out here, and then as soon as Lesnar came out, they all got out the ring? I don't understand why. What was the point? Did I miss something there?
Are they intimidated?
Well, I figured they didn't even get thrown around, didn't it? It just was like,
no,
we're not even going to bother.
I mean, what's the Brooklyn Brawler and the Godfather really going to do?
Exactly, yeah. And then Heyman running through his bit, and you can tell Lesnar's been told in his ear, Brock, you have 2 minutes before the end of the show.
Use them wisely.
Exactly. I feel sorry for the person that had to make his Suplex City, Brooklyn, New York top, because you had 2 minutes.
Oh, and Strowman runs through Kane, goes immediately out to meet Brock, who clotheslines Strowman down.
Kane.
F5 to the big red machine. Plants him. Looks for Strowman. Suplex attempt for him, but a big back elbow from the monster.
Yeah.
And then Lesnar gets eliminated from the Rumble. Thrown into the barricade.
And then finally...
Oh, Strowman's rearranging some furniture. Running power slam through the announce table. Strowman stands tall.
Well, Strowman had to go down with Lesnar there to break the announce table. Didn't actually break on impact. That's why Strowman looked a bit like an idiot coming back up again. But wasn't it a SummerSlam? Strowman put Brock Lesnar through an announce table and Lesnar got up and pinned Roman Reigns. So why is that going to...
Didn't he put him through 2 announce tables and then put one on top of him?
He put 2... Yeah. So why the hell would Lesnar... Why would that be a threat for Lesnar? Like... Strowman's... Yeah, he's been a little bit... I mean... Another kind of...
Again, I think they've tried filling too much into this 25-year show. And, Triple H and that, they get a lot of time for their spiel. And yet we get, 3 minutes for Lesnar, Kane and Strowman?
I know. And it's like, how many times you can see Strowman now destroying something and actually not, being successful in it? That's what I don't understand. But that was Raw then, Raw 25, and
Rachel's giving birth. For all you Friends fans out there. I'd like to be that now.
That was Raw 25. What are your thoughts on it?
I thought everything was too rushed. They was just bringing, there was a big announcement saying MVP's there. And you get, 2 minutes of FaceTime while he's playing a game of poker?
Yeah, I know.
It just seemed everything was far too rushed. Unless you're Triple H or the great guitar-playing douche.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you someone who wasn't there was, of course, Dan, your favourite wrestler, Randy Orton.
Yes, Randy Orton wasn't on Raw 25. Someone who's been quite a predominant part of WWE, since 2002. So 16 years?
Yeah, 16 years now. Yeah, it's incredible.
The youngest ever champion at one stage.
Yep.
Last year's Royal Rumble winner. A man who was he main evented WrestleMania.
Yeah.
If it was a disastrous match.
He carried Raw for he was Raw's number one guy.
He was main eventing every single pretty much every single Raw pay-per-view.
Yeah, he was the face of WWE, wasn't he? Triple H made him the face. So when you consider he was the guy, now he's not on Raw. But I know you're not happy about that. Who else wasn't happy?
Randy Orton's wife, Kim, she took to social media today to vent over Randy not being booked for tonight's loaded Raw 25 show. Despite there being no SmackDown Live event tonight, only a handful of SmackDown talent have been advertised for the event. Shane McMahon, Daniel Bryan, the Usos, and even AJ Styles and the New Day. She went on Instagram to say, "Can someone please explain how Randy Orton isn't on the Raw 25th anniversary tonight?" She wrote, "He's been on more episodes of Raw than anyone besides Triple H, Michaels, Taker, Kane and Cena. An impressive. So why not Randy Orton? He's had some of the most memorable moments in Raw history too. He's also on the promo pic, but isn't on the show. Just doesn't make sense to me. Enjoy the show tonight, guys. I'll be playing Mario Kart with my kids."
Oh, so she is not happy about Randy Orton. Those are a couple of bits we had. I mean, the bad reception for it was huge. I mean, we talked about it a little bit, didn't we? The fans of the Manhattan Center chanting bullshit and refund as well at the vast majority of it. And also the picture we had of the King and JR as well, didn't we?
Yes. It looked as if they was both asleep.
Yeah, the picture was... Well, it kind of looked like they were asleep, didn't it, to be fair? We'll post it up. It was kind of head down, eyes... Well, no, JR head down, looking down at the announce table, and King was kind of comfortably laid back, wasn't he? So,
They've got to remember that these guys are getting on in age.
Yeah, exactly.
They can catch 40 winks wherever.
Exactly. But if you've got nothing else, like I say, if you've got nothing to do for like half hour, an hour anyway, you're gonna have some downtime, aren't you? And that was Raw 25, and I thought that was the biggest news going. I thought the Raw 25 that would be it, but we are going to do news on the Sunday show, our live show on the Royal Rumble. We'll look at all the news the past couple of weeks. But there is one breaking story that I feel we have to talk about here on the WNR podcast.
Yes.
So
in some lights, it is probably the best thing I've heard all year. I'm not saying this about the actual event that happened. Please, don't take that out of context. What it's led up to has been great for me. No one should go through anything like that.
No one should go through anything like that. But talking about it, it's incredible. It's yeah. All right, Dan, go on, take it away.
Well, a Twitter user that goes by the name @MissGucciWitch is accusing WWE Cruiserweight Champion Enzo Amore of rape. She said that she was raped in mid-October by the WWE superstar and lists Tyler Grosso and Layla Tupor Sharapio as accomplices for letting it happen. "I was in a mental hospital for 4 days after it. They are not good people," she wrote in a tweet. The user explained how Grosso and Sharapio invited her to hang out with Enzo in his hotel room and got her fucked up by doing coke, meth and weed. She says that Enzo told them that he was going to rape her. After they tried to persuade him not to, they gave up and left her with him. It was such a brutal rape, like I'm still so fucked up from it. I haven't had sex since October. I'm in the process of pressing charges, she wrote.
Well, in another message, she explained how Shapiro asked her if she would suck Enzo's dick, and if she didn't want to, they would just all hang out. She said that she was passed out on the couch when Enzo started to come at her, and she allegedly told him she wants to get to know him first before doing anything. He replied, "Bitch, I have 1 million followers on Instagram. You should be begging for this dick," she wrote. Then he proceeded to restrain her and raped her. She said, "I remember bits and pieces and have constant flashbacks. My mental issues have been the worst ever, and I suffer from major PTSD from it," she continued. Well, at that time, the story was unconfirmed, but then he got suspended, didn't he, from the WWE on the Tuesday. And then a little bit later on, Dan, do you want to tell everybody what happened to Enzo Amore?
Well, Enzo Amore was reportedly backstage at last night's Raw from the Barclays Centre, according to Conrad Thompson, co-host of the Something to Wrestle With podcast, which isn't as good as our podcast.
No, fuck 'em.
With Bruce Pritchard. Enzo is wearing a T-shirt with "Today is the best day of my life" on the front and "Can't wait for tomorrow" on the back. Enzo was accused of rape earlier that day on social media, and WWE suspended him hours later, stating they have zero tolerance for matters involving sexual harassment or sexual assault. And WWE ended up releasing Enzo earlier today.
So, Dan, say a bit more happiness in your voice. What's happened?
Enzo was accused of rape. Yay! And on social media, WWE suspended him hours later, stating they have zero tolerance for matters involving sexual or sexual assault. And the best bit, WWE ended up releasing Enzo today.
Enzo Amore.
There is a God.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. Enzo Amore has left the WWE. Dan, you cannot believe it. Twitter went crazy about it past couple of days. We're recording this now on a Wednesday. Yeah, it's kind of mental, kind of surreal it's been, isn't it? That you're the guy you hate. You must have seen something in him to think he's a cunt, and now you've been vindicated.
You know, he's always had that look to me, James. I'm not going to lie to you. And, you know, he's one of them people that from day one I could never trust.
No. You never liked. You never liked
good reason to.
Yeah, never liked him from day one. Yeah, it was so weird because everybody else was like, no. Even when he was with Big Cass teaming up, you were like, no. No, I don't like him, you know. So it's strange is what happened. Else about Enzo.
Good riddance to the scummy bastard.
Yeah, he will no longer be mentioned here on the podcast. He will not be talked about at all. Oh, Dan, I forgot you're still wearing your Certified G T-shirt.
Well, as our listeners may know, as a result of losing last year's Prediction League, I was forced, I'm going to use that word liberally, to wear an Enzo Amore Side G T-shirt. And I'm appealing to our listeners out there to free Dan from this T-shirt. Hashtag free Dan from his shirt.
Look, I said those are the rules, all right? You have to wear the Certified G T-shirt for the rest of the year. And also, what's going to be great, and I've said this before, is when you go to Monday Night Raw here in London at the O2 and you're wearing your Enzo Amore top. But I think there'll be a little bit more on that. But that is it from Raw 25 and this week. All right, so that is everything for this show here. This starts a huge weekend for the WNR podcast. Tomorrow night, 11 p.m, NXT TakeOver pre-show live. We bring you all the build-up for the TakeOver events, plus 2 episodes of NXT, news, and games.
And Sunday, 10 p.m, WWE Royal Rumble 2018 live kickoff. Our first Rumble live, and we are prepared to bring you the best show of all time, featuring Rumble facts, games, news, and catching up with 205 live, plus lots more.
There's going to be lots more. Don't forget you can follow us across all the social media platforms. We're on Twitter at WWE Network Review or
at Vince McDan WWE.
I'm at J_Rollins. Also got a friend on Twitter.
Yes, we have Mini Chris Benoit, and he's just trying to make the world a better place, and he is at Mini Chris Benoit.
Across all the Google platforms, WWE Network Review on Google Plus, and send us an email, the WNR podcast at gmail.com. We're on Facebook.
Facebook, yes, you can come and find our page and give us a like with a WWE Network review, or you can come and find me and add me as a friend. I am Vince McDan.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, WWE Network Review Podcast. We've got clips going up there. Podcasts go at the same time. They do other places like SoundCloud.
On your phone.
We're also on Spreaker Radio, where there are live shows tomorrow night and Sunday night. Don't forget NXT Takeover and Royal Rumble. Our first ever Royal Rumble live. We cannot wait for it. Stitcher Radio, iTunes, where you can download, subscribe, rate and review there. But that is it. I have been James Rowlands, and as always, I was joined by
Dan White.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and bye.
Bye.